Welcome to the show, guys. I've got a great one lined up for you today. It'll be gas pressure and the number one globe killer, bar none. You got it. Black Swan. What's up out there? All right, hey, if you want to support this channel, there's PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. And it looks like we have some Ballbusters. Ballbusters, assemble! What's up out there, guys?
Hey, John.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening. You guys are all calmed down now. What's going on out there, man?
This intro puts us to sleep.
Hey, that intro's freaking dope.
It is dope. I can't lie. It's a dope intro.
Yeah, we have some dissenters among the mix. I've seen some live chat comments. I was on the wrong site. I was supposed to be in Ballbusters, but I hit YouTube instead, and I seen a couple comments in there that we'll deal with after the show. Hey!
Why?
What? Don't startle me like that.
All right. So, we got to get everyone up to speed with what's going on this morning. So, it was that drum morning, get up, get everything ready to go. And I get a message from Tony, from Anthony. He says, hey, you got a shout out in this video. I said, oh, yeah. So I hit the video and the link was bad. And so I messaged him back. He sent a new one. He said, yeah, man, you got to check this out. You got a shout out in here. So I pulled up the link and it's Tony along with Rick Astley and another guy singing Together Forever. Now, listen, this is one of two songs that drag me by the short hairs right back to Berlin, right? So I was in Berlin from 85 through 90. I was stationed over there. And for whatever reason, these two songs, every time I hear them, just, songs, they drag you back. It's like smells or anything. It takes you back to, somewhere in the past. These two songs. So that's one song, Together Forever, and Take On Me is the other one. So anytime I hear those two songs anywhere, right, it always drags me back. And it was so funny. It was so good and so funny. And then this guy started using cowbell, Rick Astley. I nearly fell off the chair, man. I'm so stoked. I can barely contain myself.
Sounds like you're having a aha moment.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to hear you sing that one, John.
Which one?
A bit of Take On Me by Aha.
Oh, that's yeah.
Tight pants for that.
Take on me. Take on me. I need some backup.
What are you doing, John? What are you doing?
I apologize to the viewers now.
Don't you apologize to anyone for your shortcomings, Chocolate.
Come on, man. That Take On Me was horrible. let's keep it on the really is level.
That's low, man.
Good one.
I love you, brother.
So are you going to run that video then, or what?
I'm going to wait for a couple minutes, wait for the people to get, sit down, because the intro's so short, they might not be settled in yet. So
I'm just not happy about
So short.
it.
Well, you get some 65 people now watching, so that's a good start.
make sure you guys share the show, man. This is going to be a good one. They are all great, but this is really good information. Plus, you're going to get some music, some singing by some people that can sing their asses off, right? Share the show.
Like Sleeping Warrior?
Hey, so I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy, mate. I'm getting shadow banned. I release a video and song. Yeah, Riley's getting airplay. Why ain't mine?
Where's yours?
It was released the day before, mate. You see, shadow banned. That's what's going off.
Go ahead. Oh,
It's
all right.
really going to knock him off number one.
All right. Post
Clearly
it. Now, wait a second. You'll get fair airtime here. You made a song? Go ahead.
I did The Cure, mate. Friday I'm in Love.
The Cure. Oh, that brings back memories too, boy. I used to punk people out with the. Yeah, that's an old story. I'm not going to do that. Well, put it in. Let me see where I got you. Can you put it in Ballbusters live stream?
It's in the Ballbusters Skype chat now, yeah.
Not Skype, Ballbusters live stream.
In the live stream. Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, live stream text. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll give you fair airtime along with Tony. If you made a song, then we want to hear it. This is copy strike notice day.
Well, Anthony says in the chat, the Adam Meekin, did yours really count as a song? Those songs have some comments apart. He's getting a dig at you, right?
Yeah, sticking in there, man.
Well, we should do a song off and have the people in chat vote which one's better.
Okay. We're gonna flip a coin.
That's
Which one goes first?
Two piles of shit, isn't it? That is.
Okay, I'll flip a coin. Hold on a second. Damn, I don't got a coin. Hold on. Go ahead. Smoke them if you got them.
He's going to find a coin? We get
I
a
vote-
cashless society, so no coins allowed. Those are infectious.
I think I don't think he can make heads or tails about it.
Go ahead, Adam. I got the coin. I'm gonna flip it. Right? You call it in the air. When I say now, you call it. Ready? Now.
Heads.
It's tails. We play Anthony's first. All right. I'm still waiting for it. I'm in Ballbusters live stream. Let's go.
Should be there. My files are too powerful, so you'll have to take it from Skype.
I got to get it from Skype. You would have me pull up Skype right now, wouldn't you? All right. Wait, one.
Look. Got a quality bit of video with it as well.
Got a video along with it?
Yeah, well, if you're going to do something, I figured I may as well make a video as well.
Oh, no. I haven't previewed this. Is this good to go?
Oh, it's all good. There's nothing copyrightable in it.
All right. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on one second. Let me put this down.
Adam, was yours a solo effort as compared to Anthony with companions and helpers?
I wasn't able to pull in any glitterati, unlike Tony. He's pulled in stars from the northeast.
Okay, that gives.
It was just me.
In my book, since you did a solo, you've already got 33% ahead of Anthony already.
I'm liking it.
All right. Let me see. I got to download this first, right? Hold on one second.
Download it. Is the thing not even published?
No.
I'd be cringing now if this was.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a chance. Okay, it's on pause.
It was out on Roxanne's. It was out on Roxanne's last night, so it's on YouTube already.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let me set up. Let me get Skype going. One moment, please.
So we got Riley's. I like Riley's video editing as well. See, quality again. I genuinely believed he'd got a coronavirus link up across the internet.
Let's see how the sound is. 1 second. Let me make sure the sound's squared away so everyone can hear it. Yeah. Get over there. Let's put it up a little bit. How long is it, Adam?
What, mine?
Yeah.
Well, as long as Friday I'm in Love is about 3.5 minutes, I think.
Right.
I thought I was second. Am I first now?
You know what? You're now first because I got this video up. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what we got over here.
Do you know the difference between heads and tails? Come on.
Can't make heads nor tails. Okay, here we go. here we go. Check it out. Let me see. Let me hear. Let me know if it's got sound on your end. Woohoo! Yeah. Loved it.
There you go.
The hell was that?
What happened there? My
That
God.
was absolutely horrendous.
It was special.
That was great, Adam.
Well,
Very interesting.
I'm only prepared to receive comment from those who have done the same. So, if Tony was here, I know he's in chat then, but until you put one up, I don't think, you can. My arse was twitching all the way through that. That was terrible. My palms are ringing.
I loved it, man. It is well worth every single second of that copyright notice. I'm loving it. Way to put yourself out there.
One. You won't get one. Nobody recognizes it, guys.
Oh!
Hey, is there like a limit? Maybe this is different with songs. Is there like a time limit? You follow?
No?
Yeah, like 3 seconds.
No. I'm talking about if there was a song that was written long ago, does their copyright like end at some point?
20
course.
years.
Got a limit.
Again?
Yes, there is a limitation, but typically, if it's something that's worth playing, it's good. Someone else will buy the copyright for it.
Oh, I got you. So the Cure. When was that song written or sung?
Well, that's a ropey karaoke jingle jangle. So there's no copyright there.
Yeah. What I'm asking is, when did the Cure put that song out? Roughly, you don't have to get the specific year, but
90.
91.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Something like that.
I liked your moaning. Where did you get that part? It was enchanting.
1992.
Moaning.
That was me harmonising, you cheeky sod.
Well, it sounded like someone was under your desk or something. I don't know.
What? What did you just say?
You're okay.
Oh my God, Adam, sir, to put yourself out there like that speaks to confidence in oneself. I love it. I'm stoked. All right, way to go, man.
Let's get Tony on. Let's smash him.
Okay,
1992. I just looked it up just in case you were that concerned with the exact year.
1990. 1992. Okay. Yep. Well, that's still, copyright notice is coming for that one. It's definitely coming for this one. But this is a little bit older. This is from 1988, right? So get ready. Let me throw it up here. I got to make that. All right. That's looking good. All right. We ready? Let me get some volume on here.
I didn't know we were having a musical special today.
Guys, hello. Just 1 second before you play it. Can we all just leave a nice little gap so it's nice and easy to edit out when I put it on the re-up? Thanks.
Yes, sir. Good?
I was joking. Yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about you re-upping it. Yeah. Okay, we ready? Here we go. Anthony Riley. Smoking.
Okay.
Well done.
Awesome. Just awesome.
Cheers.
Yeah. Together forever with you. He belted that out, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, hold up. I gotta stop that grab. I stop.
Right.
On this one, that one actually hurt.
Sorry.
But I give you an A for effort, though. You
That's
certainly
E
had
for
the
effort.
spirit, but Tony, it seems like you're a little tone deaf.
No
You know?
way. No
Nobody's
way.
blaming you.
No way. Did you hear the last verse where he belted it out?
Yeah, that one was actually pretty decent. but-
Heck yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
But
Way
you
to go,
Confirm
Tony.
that was the real Rick Astley.
Yeah,
Like, how did you guys end up singing that song with him?
they're friends, man.
What?
Tony's well connected, isn't he?
Tony's,
Yeah,
they're
what?
friends. They're friends, man. Tony's
I'm
tight.
look- Wow.
Did you not
Okay,
notice
I'm
the
looking
other
out
guy,
like,
John?
wait a minute, that looks like the guy.
That's what I said too.
I was like, I remember that song. I know the guy. Why does that look like the guy?
I thought it was only 2 guys that did that song. Now I know it's 3.
Oh, that was
Wait,
Gary
and who-
Barlow from Take
Look,
That.
guys, it was
Who's
lovely.
the- wait,
Just
wait.
never
Oh, wait,
do
hold
it
on.
Hold
again,
on,
please.
one at a time.
Who's the other guy?
I
Who's
don't
the
know.
other
Who
guy?
is that?
Take That.
I don't-
Who is he from? Does he sing or
Yes,
something? or-
yes.
Take-
Tony, hold on a second. I didn't recognize him at first. I still don't know him, but somebody said he's from a group called Take Back. Is that correct?
Take That.
Gary Barlow.
Harry Barlow.
You're acting like this is frigging Elvis
Yeah,
Presley
you say
or
that like
something.
that. Yeah. Rick
He is the-
Astley, I know. Gary Barlow, I don't know.
I'm getting all my jokes ruined. God damn.
sorry.
What was he in charge of the EDM? Gary Barlow?
That's it. Electronic dance music. Something like that.
Hilarious, man. But hey, kudos. I'll take the copyright notice for him. I thought it was outstanding. You know, it just shows confidence, man. That's all it tells me. Just confidence. Maybe a little tone deaf, but I'll tell you what, Anthony smoked it at the end.
Hell?
No,
Sorry?
I totally with that. You know, there was definitely spirit in it. There was love in it. Dedication. Tony was having a great time. He knows he probably is tone deaf, and he just gave it his all
Oh my
anyway.
God.
No, but that's very admirable.
It was
You know,
more
he knows he's
timing.
tone deaf, and he gives it his all anyway. No?
No,
Come
I
on,
think
what are
it's
you
more
doing then,
timing.
Arwen? What are you going to do?
Yeah, sorry, I come from a
I think you
musical
should do another
family.
song.
I inherited this musical hearing from my mother.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we're waiting for your video then. You're next.
Oh God.
Yeah. I pushed it just far enough for people not to nag me on the show to do the same, whereas Alwyn pushed it just a little bit too far. And now
I
he's
couldn't
being
help it. I come from a musical family. I have the hearing.
I think you just stepped over the line as well there, Nathan.
Yes, you
Frankly.
did, sir.
Yeah, next in line.
Dude, there's just a single playlist I just want to share with the world, but I can't because it's all copyrighted.
just
like
want to know.
The best electronic music that was ever made.
Just want to know who this Nathan character is.
Yeah. You can't get out of it, brother.
Yeah, you know what? We should all do a petition to Trump. Like, dude, you gotta overturn the copyrights on music, because effectively the copyright is just dimming down the application of these things. It's not making people that have the copyrights a lot of money necessarily. If it blooms up, it's proven with pirating even that because of pirating, it's flourishing more. So if we could convince him with a petition to open
Take
up the
us on.
copyrights for music, we could have a music golden age on the internet. I'm
Oh,
serious,
jeez,
guys.
yeah.
Pick a song, Arwen. Come on.
We
Hey,
could
What
do
are
it.
you gonna do? We'll
Hey,
find you a
He's
copyright
sitting
free
right on
version.
top of it.
all right. For people that said that the timing was off with Tony, you got to understand too that there's sort of a delay, right? So take the delay into
No,
account.
not buying it, because the other 2 guys were also not on the same place. right?
that's what
So
I'm
they
saying.
had the same thing. No, but they were in sync. Come on.
They weren't in sync.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't. Jeez. Let's
Yeah.
play it again.
Yeah.
No. In Sync is another group.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah.
To be fair, Betty, though, they were bouncing off satellites, those signals, so there will be a bit.
Proof satellites to me.
All right.
Wrong question. That's not the right question. That's something finally I can pipe up about that's on topic.
Sweet.
So no, the correct reply to that, Betty, is where would those satellites be again?
Oh,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just thinking it.
I'm sorry, I missed.
They're in 10th man's kitchen because I got the dishes.
Well, I suppose that technically proves
Oh
that
my
Tony
God.
was off, or unless he is a violation of the second law, Tony was out of sync.
It was just an editing issue, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I don't know if we could top that. I should just go off. You know, you remember the George Costanza episode when he finally does something great, makes people laugh? He was told to just leave then because it can't get any better than that, right?
Yeah, but you had a really nice bridge made, so you can now go on with your gas pressure thing. Huh?
That was a good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed
debunk
that,
the
but I'm not going to
satellites,
take it.
man. Yeah.
Did you feel a copyright strike? You can check. It's in, if you go to your live studio, it'll tell you straight away.
Huh?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not gonna
spend
do
some
it.
time on that.
No self-respecting artist is going to say that sounded like what I did. I want the money from that. I'm owed money from that.
Hey, Nathan, how did you classify that again, Adams?
Horrendous. I like the word horrendous.
I got to go back and listen to that because it was priceless. Yeah. All right. So we read any old business?
And I have to give a shout out to my man Fe Jedi. And the question I love what he asks is, how do we keep gas from fucking off? So yeah, let's get into that.
All right. Shout out to Fe Jedi. We're going to be talking about that particular. Mic discipline, please.
Oh, sorry.
Now, somebody had their mic open, so I think we're good now. Go ahead, Nathan.
I was just going to ask Betty if she knows what horrendous means. Extremely unpleasant, horrifying, or terrible.
Horrifying, yeah. Horrendous. Yeah. Beautiful song. It's a beautiful word that compounds everything that you just said. Yeah. It's great. Oh, and now my cat is falling down.
All right. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Like I said, any old business. We had Fe Jedi with gas working off. Anything else?
Maybe. I do regular searches for Black Swan, and I came across one this morning. It was at a time that I was going to go for a snooze, so I didn't actually do a great deal of work on it. But I did contact Anthony and get a few measurements. It was one of Sandra's old snaps from 2016, I believe, of the Isle of Man. And I remember it being a very, very significant distance. So I got some rough distances from Anthony. And on a preliminary level, it seems like this dude who's saying, I'm going to challenge the Black Swan by showing a load of white swans. Here you go. Here's a horizon blocking these wind turbines. I don't think the dude appreciated that the Isle of Man in the background is about 70 miles away. But nonetheless, you can still calculate the distance to horizon based on where the turbines are at about, conservatively, 11 miles. And the distance to horizon should be less than 6. So you're like, so mate, the Black Swan. So I haven't double checked it yet, but I just thought it's a fairly, I don't know the guys, I never know the names of the people who are responding to because I just do them on searches with keywords rather than by people. But whoever you are, dude, you know who you are. Black Swan, mate. Sorry.
Sweet.
Double check. Know the argument.
Are you going to cut it out? Hello? Hello?
Both being really polite over each other.
Are you going to cut that out and run it?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, his video is a bit too long, though. So homing in on the particular bit that actually details that is just it's just a screen cap. Literally, that's all I need. And the measurements which were on Sandra's video. It just my point in saying this is that most people who are attacking the Black Swan don't actually know the argument.
Precisely.
Now, if they did know the argument, they wouldn't be so stupid as to present a Black Swan because they'd understand what a Black Swan actually was and why it's important and why it debunks the globe. But because they don't know the argument, they go headlong into, I'm going to debunk this by showing white swans. And then they don't actually check to see if it's a black swan. They just see something being obscured and automatically deem that to be the same as their physical geometric horizon, not appreciating that the distance to horizon is the very argument that they're trying to combat. So they inadvertently give you a black swan, claiming it's a white one, which I just think is very funny. No, the argument is the point.
They are reverting, though, Nathan, aren't they, to a geometric edge then? In doing so, they've abandoned the fact that the geometric edge is not visible because of. So they're taking a step back from what that sounds like to me. It's an abandonment of the non-position position to draw a straight line to it because that's fallen apart.
Yeah, they keep doing it. It's rinse and repeat, Nathan. He's exactly right. That's all I see them doing. It's so funny that they don't understand the argument. It's painfully obvious, and everyone in the audience understands it, but they don't. And they think that they're debunking something, but they're debunking themselves. It's hilarious. All right. Any more old business?
Yeah, one admin thing. You got a super chat right after Adam did his song, and it was from, let me see, Alexander, and he had a red thumbs up for you.
There you go, Adam.
Red hot. Was it the biggest super chat you've ever had?
Yeah. For a song, that's
Where's Sam Hine when you need him?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. At the end of the show. All right. Any old business? Any more old business, I should say. I'll take that silence. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for us in Discord, your output line, as this bit between presentations, everyone in Discord's getting a horrible signal from you, but your signal to the audience is perfect in case you just don't care about us and our pleasure here.
Okay, wait a second. Let me try some. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, that seems to have fixed it. Brilliant.
Thank you very much. So, no more old business. Okay, now remember, the link, this is a Ballbusters. The link to join the voice chat, the Ballbusters voice chat, where all the Ballbusters are right now, is in the info box below this video. Now, everyone entering the Ballbusters Discord voice chat is clean slated. That means any bad history between guests and panel members will be put aside and not spoken of. There are 3 zero tolerance rules, however. Number 1, no ad homs. That's attacking the man or woman in lieu of the argument. No scattergunning. One topic at a time. Each will be exhausted to conclusion before moving to the next. And be prepared to support every single claim. And number 3, be polite. Speak slowly and coherently. If any of these 3 are violated, you will be server muted immediately, then kicked from Ballbusters voice chat. These instructions are at the bottom of the video also in the info box below, so there should be no problems. Let's rock. The vacuum of space and gas pressure. We've been down this road. I've been speaking to this topic for nearly 4 years now. Next month, it'll be 4 years. And I'm still getting the same train wreck rebuttals from this. Hopefully, this will put it to the end. I don't think it will, because it appears that people just don't listen, especially ballers. You need to take the cognitive dissonance mud out of your ears. But it's pretty hilarious. We're going to show some of your comments below. So just hold on. All right, let's roll. So how do you have gas pressure that is atmospheric pressure? Let's just stop right there before we move on. Gas pressure and atmospheric pressure are the same. Do you know why? Because atmo means air, and air is gas. So gas pressure and atmospheric pressure are the same thing. The atmosphere is made of gases. My word. Like, why do I need to explain that to adults? I don't know. I digress. How do you have gas pressure, atmospheric pressure, without a container? To begin with, when the pressure of a gas is the force the gas exerts on the walls of its container. That is from the University of Elmhurst.edu. Everyone knows this. The pressure of a gas is the force the gas exerts on the walls of the container. This is going to be a repeating refrain through this presentation. Please, I can't wait to hear this yarn. You can't have gas pressure in an open system. Duh. If you do, it's temporary. It depends on what that open system is, huh? The volume of the open system, right? If you have an 80-foot pipe and you put a little gas pressure at the bottom, yeah, you're going to have some gas pressure in that open system temporarily. Because it will, we're going to go over that definition too. It will increase in entropy in attempt to equilibrate with its surroundings. We'll get to that. So, like I said, married bachelors are more tenable. So basically, please explain how you can have tire pressure without the tire. Okay? We want to see that little trick. Number 2, how can you have a vacuum, outer space, attached to a non-vacuum Earth without a physical barrier in the same system simultaneously, without bludgeoning to a bloody pulp the laws of entropy, i.e. the second law of thermodynamics? In other words, how are you still breathing and adhering to your fairy tale religion both at the same time? Then what you do is to define the law of non-contradiction, and then when you look it up, you see your smiling face there waving. And C, please list each fairy tale associated with outer space that gets taken out back to the woodshed and bludgeoned senseless as a result of the fairy tale vacuum of space vaporizing. And this is kind of fun. How in the world did the Earth form an atmosphere at all in a vacuum? From a big bang? Have you ever heard nature abhors a vacuum by chance? Why is that? From Arthur Eddington, The Nature of the Physical World. If your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, I can give you no hope. There is nothing for you, your theory, but to collapse in the deepest humiliation. Right? It happens daily, multiple times. This topic's coming back. I've been hearing this all week, ironically, and just snickering. Gas pressure, right? We have gas pressure gradients. That's the first port in the storm. We'll deal with that here in a couple minutes. Oh, we're going to deal with it right now. So, the brain dead ballers. This is their comeback to the argument. But we have gas pressure gradients, QE. Why do spinning space monkeys, this is trademarked by the way, continue to wholesale dodge the very simple question to support their fairy tale religion? Let's go through this real slow. This is the question. How do you have gas pressure without a container? The Rhodes Scholars comeback, rebuttal, why isn't there a container between Mount Everest and sea level? The brain surgeons actually think this triple your pleasure fallacy is a reasoned response to the question. I'll break it down. I'll break out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to break out the crayons, but you got to promise not to munch them. So which comes first? Gas pressure, X, or gas pressure gradients, delta X? You see, there can't be a delta X before there's an X. You can't have gas pressure gradients, delta X, before you explain how you got X, the existence of X. That's our question. In other words, Kreitzes Vretes. Before number 2, number 1 must frigging exist. So again, how do you have gas pressure without a container? Let me stop right there. Questions, comments?
Can't have gas pressure without a container.
Awesome. Deep.
Furthermore, if the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space. Ergo, the sky is not a vacuum.
It's just that easy, folks. Arwen, any comments?
Yeah, but gravity keeps it in, right? That's the baller's rebuttal.
This isn't a gravity presentation, but gravity doesn't exist. Even if it did exist, you could take both Newtonian gravity and Einsteinian gravity, both at full force or non-force, times 1 billion, and it would have no effect whatsoever on entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. Thank you.
Okay, but that's maybe too complex, so they'll just believe it anyway.
That's not my problem. They need to get up to date with the flat earth debate. Thanks.
True.
Choco!
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Arwen.
not just saying it is what it is, it's like the ballers are stuck on this. They haven't had any real rebuttals to it for a long time, except for red herring with the gradient argument, which is really a red herring, and that's it. And yeah, now the black swan, on top of that, they have very little places left to go.
Yes, if they appeal, I'm sorry, I didn't identify the fallacies. If we ask you, how do you have gas pressure without a container? And then you go ahead and appeal to gas pressure gradients, that's the triple crown. That's the hat trick of fallacies. It's a begging the question fallacy because you're assuming the gas pressure already. It's a straw man because that's not our argument. And it's a red herring because it's an irrelevant diversion. Thank you.
Exactly.
Choco.
Yeah. If what Arwen said, we don't usually get a rebuttal. We usually do, but they usually include a container when they try to somehow demonstrate it. Like guys who will have actually 2 containers and then label their video gas pressure without a container.
Right. So exactly like I said, no real point.
Right. It's like you might have missed the point of your video when you include containers. We're asking how do you have gas pressure without one? So yeah, might want to brush up on that.
You think they might need to shore that up?
A little bit, sort it out. Get a grip, try to regroup and come to terms that you when you use a container and then try to say that somehow that's not a container, people are listening to you guys, paying attention. It's nonsense. So keep doing it if you want. That's cool. We can keep going like this, but yeah, you're destroying yourselves whenever you do that.
So this sort of motif, we got Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard, proving gas pressure without a container, with a container filled with gas. It's scary. You don't recognize this. Incoherent second graders are rolling their eyes at this. By the way, you bonehead. Unbelievable. 10th.
Any chance you can drop and rejoin the Discord server and refresh it after you've dropped, just while 10th gives his reply, Quantum Eraser?
Jeez. Yeah, let me try it. Yeah, I'll try it. Yep. Just hold off 1 second. Just hold off 1 second.
Yeah, we'll get, while he's dropping and rejoining, we can get 10th's comments just so there's no dead air.
All right. So it's container. And every time they want to answer that question, they have to get a container, and they do a pretty bad job. For example, they get a container with a pump, and they get all the air or gas out of that container, and they have a vacuum. But you need a container to do that. And then Danny Faulkner says, all these flat earthers, they just go to YouTube videos, and that's where they get their proof. And then he ends up sending people to Hillbilly Blue Balls, which you use as a container. I mean, it is so comical when you think about what it's an actual question. Can you have gas pressure without a container? And they've not even come close to answering it, but they've answered it by showing containers. So they come with a container of gas. They need a container with a pump to take out the gas. And it's just comical how stupid it is.
Thanks, 10th. Radio check. Are we good?
Perfect. Yes, you sound a lot better.
Okay. Adam. Sir. No more singing.
Okay. I don't know. I'll probably just address Arwin when he had his baller hat on for a second there. With regards to the argument that will be thrown, which is with respect to gravity. Now, even if you were to allow for that presupposition, I'd just remind people that even in the standard model, gas behavior is not subject to gravity. The molecules are free to move in all directions. It's not a defense.
Yes, sir. F.E. Jedi, what's up, dude?
Hey, Quantum, how you doing, buddy? You well? I heard you were doing my favourite subject, so I thought I'd jump in.
I figured, man, when I seen you pop in. Yeah, I know it's your favorite subject. Yeah. F.E. Jedi takes a bunch of ballers over there at 24/7 and whips them around by their short hairs with this argument. So, yeah. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, not a problem.
Betty.
What's good, Jedi?
Calling me?
Beautiful Betty. Yes, is your name Betty?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, boy. Any admin?
No, not at this point. But 108 people watching. So that's good.
They heard about the songs, right?
Well, they waited until that was over.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, mate. If you need another super chat, just play it again.
Betty always got jokes. I love it.
All right, let's roll. You ready to roll? I am. All right. Yeah. Another of the friggin' train wreck, brain dead ballers comments. You've heard this one. Can you show us the container? Or what is the container made of? I never anticipated those rigorous intellectual questions. Are they gotchas? So, see if you can follow this. It follows the necessary antecedent consequent motif. Let's try this. It's quite simple. The consequent is gas pressure. The necessary antecedent is a container. Just like the consequent filet mignon and the necessary antecedent, the cow. You see, if it's already clearly established that is factual that to have filet mignon, cows must exist, right? If that's already clearly established, and it is, then cows must exist. Just like it's already clearly established that they have gas pressure, you need a container. Then if someone slaps a filet mignon down on the dinner table, then I know with absolute certainty that a cow must exist without ever seeing or needing to see a cow or the data for a cow. Like I said, that is, gas or air pressure is the filet mignon and the container is the cow. I know it's difficult for ball-tard spinning space monkeys, that's trademarked by the way, and their ilk to process this. Have one of your slobber nurses explain it to you. With Hooked on Phonics. I don't know which is dumber. The ones I just went over or this one? We'll take a vote. Ballers claim the Earth is a containerless, open, pressurized system. The ballers' evidence? Walk outside. The Elmer Fudd circle jerk of the millennium. Mr. Magoo is blushing at that comment. Tantamount to claim the wind is generated by black holes interacting with dark energy. The evidence? Walk outside. I don't know, people. I don't know where we're at. I'll tell you what, not smelling too good. I can't even describe this as stupid. This is so far below stupid and idiotic. I can't believe adults come back with this. I don't know, brothers. Let's go over gas behavior. Why don't we? From the chemistry department, Purdue University, particles in a gas vibrate and move freely at high speeds. Right? So they don't just fall. They're not falling. They're moving freely and randomly at high speeds. That's what makes it a gas. And the unveiling. See, it's been a long time since I put this one out. And I don't know. I don't even know why I have to go over this like all the other ones. But let me see if this resonates with you. This is from sciencelearn.org. Speaking to gas pressure. The atoms and molecules in gases are much more spread out than in solids or liquids. They vibrate and move freely at high speeds. A gas will fill any container, but if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape. So, allow me to define will for the window-licking knuckle-draggers. Will, modal verb, expressing the future tense. Will. What's the next definition you need from me? Run, you bozos? Let's do it. Run. Move at a speed faster than a walk, never having both or all feet on the ground at the same time. Next, we'll do the. Unbelievable. NASA's take on gas pressure. This is going to be fun. The molecules are in constant random motion and frequently collide with each other and with the walls of the container. Because the molecules are in motion, a gas will expand to fill the what? Container. Since the density is defined to be the mass divided by the volume, density depends directly on the size of the container in which a fixed mass of gas is confined. 3 sentences on gas pressure from NASA, 3 times a container's mentioned. Coincidence? Oh, let's try this again. This is going to be fun with this container, right? Let's stress this. So again, gas pressure from Elmhurst University. The pressure of a gas is the force the gas exerts on the walls of its container. Okay? We have kinetic molecular theory explanation of Boyle's gas law. Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collisions of the molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure. That's the cause of pressure. The walls of the container is part of it. That's force on a unit area. Pressure is proportional to the number of molecular collisions and the force of the collisions in a particular area. The more collisions of gas molecules with the walls of what? Well, the walls of the container, the higher the pressure. Let's go to Chem Lieber text, defining gas pressure. Here we go again. Gas pressure is caused. That means you need this to have gas pressure. The following. You ready? Gas pressure or pressure is caused by gas molecules hitting the walls of the container. With a small volume, the gas molecules will hit the walls again more frequently, and so the pressure increases. Boy, these two sound very similar. I wonder why. Boy. So, the necessary antecedents that cause gas pressure are the rapid motion and collisions of molecules. Well, collisions with what? Well, with themselves and what? The walls of the container. Did you get me? This is quite elementary. Take either number 1 or 2 away and you don't have gas pressure. Simple. No amount of linguistic or mathematical acrobatics will change it. By the way, newsflash, you can't have volume without a container. So say bye-bye now to your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. Okay? Let's get into that volume, shall we? Spinning space monkeys. Trademarked, by the way. This is from your alma mater wiki, talking about Boyle's law. Boyle's law, sometimes referred to as the Boyle-Mariette law or Mariette's law, especially in France, is an experimental gas law that describes how the pressure of a gas tends to increase as the volume of the container decreases. Yeah, like that. How about this from Penn State Chemistry Department? Hey, Mike, discipline, please. Thank you. Penn State Chemistry Department. Here we go again. Boyle's law or the pressure volume law, the volume law, that's part of it, states that the volume of a given amount of gas held at constant temperature varies inversely with the applied pressure when the temperature and mass are constant. You see this right here? V volume, V, is proportional to 1 over the pressure. Right? Do you get it? Question, how can you have volume without a container? From their alma mater wiki, let's define volume. Volume is the quantity of three-dimensional space enclosed by a closed surface. For example, the space that a substance, solid, liquid, gas, or plasma, or shape occupies or contains. Volume is often quantified numerically using the SI-derived unit, the cubic meter. The volume of a what? Container is generally understood to be the capacity of the container, i.e. the amount of fluid, gas, or liquid that the container could hold, rather than the amount of space the container itself displaces. So we have 3 sentences and 6 times in the definition of volume, container is mentioned. Say bye-bye now to your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. Let's do it again. Spinning space monkeys. Have you ever seen this before? PV equal nRT. Mike, discipline, please. PV equal nRT. This is the ideal gas law. It's just a generalization of Boyle's gas law, which we went over above. You see the V right here? That's volume. So show volume without a container. Here's the question again. How can you have volume without a container? Guess where I'm going? I'm going to define volume again from your alma mater wiki. Volume is the quantity of three-dimensional space enclosed by a closed surface. For example, the space that a substance, solid, liquid, gas, or plasma, or shape occupies or contains. Volume is often quantified numerically using the SI-derived unit, the cubic meter. The volume of a container is generally understood to be the capacity of the container, the amount of fluid or gas or liquid that the container could hold, rather than the amount of space the container itself displaces. So say bye-bye now to your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. Let's do it again. Boyle's gas law. We're going back to your alma mater. Otherwise known as the pressure volume law again. For a fixed mass of gas at constant temperature, the volume is inversely proportional to the pressure. This is mathematically PV equal K. Guess what the V is? Take a wild guess. P denotes the pressure of the system, V denotes the volume of the gas, and K is a constant value representative of the temperature and the volume of the system. Guess what my next question is? How can you have volume without a container? Do I need to go through this again? Didn't think so. Let's talk about entropy. Oh, say bye-bye now to your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. Entropy, that is the second law of thermodynamics, from the entropy site.oxy.edu. Gas expansion into a vacuum, mixing of ideal gases or liquids, diffusion, effusion, colligative effects, and osmosis. Each fundamentally involves an increase in entropy due to an increased dispersion of energy with no change in total energy in the case of ideal substances due to a greater number of microstates for the particular system involved. Okay? So let's go through this step by step. According to the fairy tale narrative from the spinning space monkeys, there's a vacuum surrounding your spinning ball. It doesn't have to be a perfect vacuum, just a high vacuum or extremely high vacuum. Okay? Go look at the definitions for a vacuum, for goodness sakes. No one has ever said anything about a perfect vacuum, which doesn't exist anyway, and wouldn't exist even if it existed. Number 2, we obviously have gas pressure. That is atmospheric pressure. You understand atmospheric and gas pressure are the same because in the atmosphere is made of gases. Number 3, the Earth is not a sealed container. And number 4, the gas pressure is not expanding into your vacuum. Ergo, the ball-tard spinning space monkey Earth defies the laws of entropy, second law of thermodynamics. So you have one of two choices. Either somebody's lying or the second law of thermodynamics is false. Your choice. By the way, from Arthur Eddington, if your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, I can give you no hope. There is nothing for your theory but to collapse in the deepest humiliation. Spinning space monkeys, Sir Arthur here is serenading you because you are the deepest humiliation. Let's look at containers again. From sciencelearn.org, the atoms and molecules in gases are much more spread out than in solids or liquids. Duh. They vibrate and move freely at high speeds. A gas will fill any container, but if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape. Will bypass me defining will. University of North Carolina, gases behave differently from the other two commonly studied states of matter, solids and liquids, so we have different methods for treating and understanding how gases behave under certain conditions. Gases, unlike solids and liquids, have neither fixed volume nor shape. They are molded entirely by the container in which they are held. And again, Elmhurst University, the pressure of a gas is the force the gas exerts on the walls of the container. NASA, again, we love this one. The molecules are in constant random motion and frequently collide with each other and with the walls of a container. Because the molecules are in motion, a gas will expand to fill the container. Since density is defined to be the vast divided by the volume, density depends directly on the size of the container in which a fixed mass of gas is confined. Even your own boys, NASA, container. Yet even more reading, this lines up with the ball-tard. This is tutoring for children. So, gas, it has no shape or size of its own. It takes the shape of its container and occupies the space given to it. Duh. Questions, comments?
You refresh when you left Discord.
Oh my God. You want me to go back into Discord again?
Leave, but when you leave, refresh after you've left, then rejoin.
What do you mean refresh after I left?
you press the disconnect button,
Yeah.
then you press the refresh button, then you reconnect.
I like how you step by. So the refresh button on Discord?
Whatever you've got Discord running on, just refresh the page that Discord's got, because
I'll just close out of it.
He's running it not through the browser, I guess. I think through the app.
I'm running it
right?
through the app.
Yeah, you can't refresh the app. Only shut it down and put it back up.
Yeah, and so the folks in the audience won't hear you.
That's
Exactly.
fine. We'll just be patient.
That's fine. Folks out in the audience, give me 10 seconds. Smoke them if you got them.
I win.
No, sounds just normal.
Yeah.
Radio
Normal.
check.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
you, Nathan. Maybe
Me.
you should get out and get
It's
in.
me.
No, he's
Yeah, it could be
popping
me.
like 1-0. He's popping like 1-0, Nathan. It's
Hold on 1 second.
I'm getting a rough line.
Hold
it's
on
just
one.
Pop, pop.
Okay, hold on 1 second, please. Radio check.
Shout more.
Radio check 1, 2. Lost 3. This is lost 1. Are you lost 2 over?
Talk to me like I'm a baller.
It seems
You-
fine.
You crayon munching clown.
That's it.
Just-
Just back to out.
I can hear everyone just fine.
Just to get this back on track. Yes. Brilliant section. Excellent, wonderful. I think Mark Sargent does an excellent job of summarizing the gas pressure without a container argument, because he did it during his promotion of me on This Morning. He slipped in this example about having a second floor that's a vacuum and your first floor, ground floor versus first floor. Right, let's start that again. So your first floor is a vacuum and your ground floor is just normal with gas in it, and you're breathing quite happily. And there's a cork between the two. And you pull out the cork, what's going to happen? Well, the gas that's in the in the ground floor is going to immediately expand to fill the available volume above your head. So what was a gas particle or lots of gas particles hitting the cork, when you remove the cork, instead of hitting the cork, they travel straight through the hole and fill the available volume, going upwards, exactly as they would if the sky was a vacuum. The gas would just have nothing to bounce off and it would just keep on going. But Mark Sargent does a wonderful job of summarizing that little bit that you've done there, just to bring it back on track.
Thank you, sir. Arwin.
Yeah, well, what more can I add, at this point? Except for what I started out with. They lost this argument a long time ago, and everything's just gonna rely from their side's perspective on just not looking far enough. Just let things confuse you and then red herring your way out and drop out. That's it. That's what they got left.
Thanks, Arwin. Chocolate. Together forever, never with fun. Chocolate, come on.
He's out for a cup of coffee, I think.
Chocolate sounded like you singing.
He's on a chocolate break.
All right, we'll get back to him. Here. Go ahead.
Flashing, he's dropped. Give him a second. He's going to come back. He's just dropped and he'll rejoin any second. He was flashing, so he was talking, but he just couldn't be heard. So hopefully he'll be back in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, move on. There we go. Hey, Chocolate, can we hear you? Testing.
I think Discord is having some problems today, as it turns
He's
out.
on mute.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Discord kind of conked out on me. I was just gonna say it's kind of ridiculous, self-defeating question. How can you have gas pressure without a container when literally the definition of gas pressure is the force that it exerts on the walls of its container? So yeah, how could you have something when it has its anti. You can't have the antecedent. Like it's just a self-defeating question.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Mic discipline. Hey, guys. Mic discipline when you're not speaking, please. 10th.
Yeah, this is number 2 now after the Black Swan. It was number 1, but stands on its own. I mean, they can't even begin to answer this one. And you've said everything, and everybody else has chimed in. They can't demonstrate gas pressure without a container. NASA agrees with us, and NASA is their boy. So something's wrong with their brain.
Thanks, 10. Adam, sir.
Yeah, I like that bit. Any chance you could pull up the a slide where you've got PV equals nRT up?
Yes, sir. Wait one.
Well, why are you doing that? The reason being, I just want to take a quote from my son's GCSE physics.
It's on.
Textbook.
It's on screen, sir.
Brilliant, thanks. So that's a great equation. It's certainly everything I use in my pharmaceutics work and relevant to from the day I learned it at GCSE level. PV equals nRT. So I just wanted to read the 4 bullet points from the GCSE physics book, and the title's "Colliding Gas Particles Create Pressure." Kind of discusses all the variables in there. Maybe not R. So R is the universal gas constant, which is just a kind of averaged amount to describe the total amount of energy in any mole, the amount of energy in any mole of molecules. You can obviously divide that to per molecule. But obviously this is a fundamental for all of technology, science, and we move forward. So I just want to read the bits of the parameters, and like I said, it's colliding gas particles create pressure. As gas particles move about at high speeds, they bang into each other and whatever else happens to get in the way. When they collide with something, they exert a force and so a pressure upon it. In the sealed container, the outward gas pressure is the total force exerted by all of the particles in the gas on a unit area in the container walls. Faster particles and more frequent collisions both lead to an increase in net force, and so gas pressure. Increasing temperature will increase the speed, i.e. T in there. So if you increase T, you increase on the other side P and V, both the pressure and the volume. Alternatively, if the temperature is constant, increasing the volume of the gas means that the particles get more spread out and hit the walls of the container less often. The gas pressure decreases. Pressure and volume are inversely proportional. That was in the earlier. P is equal to 1 over V. When volume goes up, the pressure goes down. And when volume decreases, pressure increases. For a gas of fixed mass at a constant temperature, the relationship is P times V equals a constant. As you said earlier, PV equals K. These things are intrinsic. Now we can mess with the system, as I've described there, by putting extra energy in, but the main parameters of pressure times volume are as described by Chocolate. The antecedent here is to have the walls of a container. Otherwise, none of this is calculable. None of it happens. Now, if we were to just use PV equals nRT and place that supposition of the vacuum of space, the only thing we could probably use mathematically is infinity. Well, you know, any maths, stick that in there, then it all falls apart. If pressure and volume are inversely proportional, then if you make the volume infinite, then the pressure goes to nothing.
Yes, sir.
Have an arbitrary line that they draw, though, don't they? Called the Kármán line.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean too much of anything. The United States doesn't even follow that, right? They have a different definition of where, quote unquote, space begins, don't they? I don't know what it is.
What I'm saying,
Go ahead.
if at a pinch, when push comes to shove, if they need to magic a volume out of their ass, they will.
They do have a volume. It's 3.58 times 10 to the 80th cubic meters. They do have one. It's been staying constant for a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know whether the universe is expanding, and if so, what's it expanding into, by the way? And it keeps on staying at that same number. So I don't know. They just throw the number out, but at least it's documented for us to pummel.
Or it would be expanding into the extending spatial limitation of the universe's space.
Beautiful word salad. Love it.
Yeah. But the gas pressure presentation is more or less over. But there's one tiny little topic that I'd like to bring up before we go to the guess on gas pressure. I know you're going to love this. It's called open, closed, and isolated systems. You see, these spinning space monkey baltards quite recently have been holding late candle night vigils. I counted more than 9 hours with more than 55 people attempting to explain what open, closed, and isolated systems were. It takes a junior high school student less than 15 seconds to reconcile these. I'm going to walk you step by step through them. Okay? So, from Chem Libre text, an open system is a system that freely exchanges energy and matter with its surroundings. A closed system is a system that exchanges only energy with its surroundings, not matter. And an isolated system does not exchange energy or matter with its surroundings. Okay? Let's get some other definitions for it just to make sure. From Khan Academy. An open system can exchange both energy and matter with its surroundings. A closed system, on the other hand, that's a tricky one, can exchange only energy with its surroundings, not matter. An isolated system is one that cannot exchange either matter or energy with its surroundings. This is pretty cut and dry, right? The idiot spinning space monkey claims. Here's the first one. Because there is very little matter exchange between the Earth and space, the Earth is essentially a closed system. Are you stupid? A closed system from Chem Libre text. We're going to go over this slowly. Okay? I'm going to walk you through it. A closed system is a system that exchanges only energy with its surroundings, not matter. Okay? So it appears that I have to define only and not to you. Okay? Here we go. Only, from dictionary from Cambridge, used to show that something is limited to, not more than, or is not anything other than the people, things, or the amount or activity stated. So, only energy, not the other thing. Matter, not. Only energy, not matter. Okay? From Merriam-Webster, only, as a single factor instance and nothing more or different. And not, used as a function word to make negative a group of words or a word. Do you get it now? I doubt it. By the way, your little statement above here that's non sequitur, and you actually changed the definition. Very little matter exchange. P.S. from sciencealert.com, the Earth loses hundreds of tons of atmosphere to space every day. That's in their fairy tale. I'm using your own fairy tale to defeat your fairy tale. Number 2, a closed system is like an isolated system in engineering. Really? From Anne-Marie Helmenstein, PhD, Biomedical Sciences. A closed system is a concept used in thermodynamics, physics, and engineering, and in chemistry. A closed system is a type of thermodynamic system where mass is conserved within the boundaries of the system, but energy is allowed to freely enter or exit the system. Turn out the lights. Party's over. They say that all good things must end. Turn out the lights, baltards. It's over. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I thought that you need a background singer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go on. There was an extra word in there though, that when you were describing, how little escapes to space according to them, they said it was like, what was the weasel word they used? Basically a closed system or something like that.
They said because there is very little matter exchanged between the Earth and space.
Right. You have to visualize it more like a pond.
What was the next sentence?
Because there is very little matter exchanged between the Earth and space, the Earth is essentially a closed system.
That's what I was looking for. Essentially. Well, there you go. You're missing out on their weasel word. What does essentially mean?
It means not closed when we don't want it to be closed, so we can get rockets out.
Unbelievable. I'm serious. Countless hours on this topic. I just wanted to clean the slate for you, knuckle brain. I can't believe I even have to do this. Right? It's self-explanatory. Open, closed, isolated. You don't have to worry about isolated because there are no isolated systems in nature. Right? So we don't even have to worry about that last one, just the first two. They still can't get it. Professors of physics can't get this. I don't know, man. Arwen, go ahead.
Sometimes, like with all the energy you put it out, it just dazzles me. But yeah, they have nowhere to go.
I put energy, but not matter.
That's a good one. Yeah. What it did remind me of is the Rumpus approach. It's like, yeah, it's close. You just have to visualize it sort of like a pond, And after a certain point, there's like the gas just sticks to the Earth like a pond, and then the rest is space. And space shuttles and rockets can still just make their way through and penetrate, get out of the supposed closed system. And yeah, that's it. It's just a mind experiment.
Chocolate, sir.
Yeah, there's something I think we should address for the ballers who tend to get confused about this type of thing, because some of them like to say that the second law of thermodynamics describes an isolated system. And because they use an isolated system to describe the second law, they feel that, so does that mean that it doesn't apply to the Earth? Rumpus. So, does the second law of thermodynamics apply to the Earth, Quantum Eraser?
This is...
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
What What? Wait, what? Wait. Huh?
I mean, look, it's one of those things we hear, man. The guys on record saying the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply to the Earth. So,
Ah,
Oh boy. Thanks,
yeah.
it's like
Chocolate.
that's an easy way out ticket, you know. It's like, come on. You couldn't think of anything more constructive than that? Really? No, it just doesn't apply. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't
10th.
think about it anymore.
Thank you. 10th.
Yeah, I don't know how much more I could add other than the fact that based on the many debates I've heard, they interchange their argument from closed to open and even isolated. And yet the question is, how can you have gas pressure without a container? So how do you have a closed system when it's convenient to you and then switch to an open system when that's convenient to you? They're just not dealing with absolute truth when they debate anything. And whereas we are confined to the second law of thermodynamics and we have to argue well within the law, they don't. And this is where they go off cue and sound ridiculous each time.
The Adam Meakin, sir.
Oh, yeah. This is a kind of for the ballers. They want their cake and eat it, and to be able to do so, you have to wholly ignore the meaning of the definitions you previously outlined. It seems the only way you can get around this is to essentially ignore the definitions.
Thank you, sir. Nathan, you want to round us out? You're the last one. And then we're going to go to the wires. Oh, I got you, Betty. I got you.
Okay.
Nathan,
Betty?
sir.
I think, Nathan, you are up first.
I'm just keen to get onto the people who've joined, so I've got nothing more to add, really.
All right.
Unless you've got some admin.
All right, Betty.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got you.
Ooh, we got a Sam Hain super chat donation.
We got some
$30.
more, too.
Admin. Betty
Hey,
must
are
sing
you
a song
Betty?
of her choice.
Wait a second. Are you Betty?
Well, I didn't get the chance, so am I gonna shout some super chats out? What's going on?
Yeah, Betty, go ahead.
So we got one from MUK, and she says, "Not much, but you guys actually deserve it." She says, "I think that's about the donation that she's going to give."
Thanks, Emma.
And then we got one from Ricky Alive. I think he's on his break, and he says, "Again, I'll pay money for Betty to say it's stupid. Globe is stupid. Kiwi is." I think stupid.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Rocky. You're a young man.
And then I got another funny one from Chow Yun Cat. I don't know what that was about, but near an ear, a nearer ear, and a nearly eerie ear. I think that people want to hear me talk. Or
Yes,
something,
they
I don't know.
do. Yes, they do. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
And then we got one from Sam Hine. He says, "Admin, Betty must sing a song of her choice." Yeah. I have to think about the song that I want to sing. I don't know one just off the cuff. Maybe later.
How about this one? Together forever, forever.
Oh,
God. Together forever we two.
Cringing.
Yeah, I get this creepy, like, satanic vibe to that. And
Oh,
it's
come
like-
God, that was a low blow.
You know,
Horrendous. was
the
word.
music industry, you have no idea how messed up, like, the double think shit goes into all the text and shit. Like, with almost everything, it's crazy.
All right. Hey, we're ready. We're ready to move to
Oh, and
Go
by
ahead.
the way, when someone said Rumpus, I think we summoned him, so he's in the chat here now. So
I can't wait.
Well, you
Okay.
said that you would give people an even chance when they come back in, so.
That's true. That's correct. So let me repeat that again. Go ahead. Mike Discipline, please. We're going to head to the Ballbusters VC chat for anyone to challenge, and this is only to challenge gas pressure, vacuum of space, and the open, closed, and isolated systems. I repeat again, everyone entering the Ballbusters Discord voice chat is clean slated. That means any bad history between guests and panel members will be put aside and not spoken of. There are 3 zero tolerance rules. No ad homs. That's attacking the man or woman in lieu of the argument. No scattergunning. One topic at a time. Each will be exhausted to conclusion before moving to the next. Be prepared to support every claim and be polite. Speak slowly and coherently. It goes without saying that if any of those rules are violated, you will be server muted immediately and then kicked from the Ballbusters voice chat. Righteous Force, sir.
Yeah.
You have the con. Write down the list, please.
All right. We'll start with Brian's logic. You there, Brian's logic? If not, we'll move on to Buster.
Is it all right to just ask a question about the numbers?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the argument is you typically they'll show. Oh, does Brian want to go?
I go in next. Sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. I go in
So
after
they
Buster.
usually say
Okay.
they'll usually say it goes from 14.7 to 0, and they'll show a balloon launch, and it'll show 0.01 psi. And if you convert it to torr, 0.5. Like when you say what space is, that 10 to the negative 17 torr, they say that's just a minuscule number. Is it minuscule or is it astronomical?
I'm sorry, it's astronomical. It's exponential magnitudes. Right? You have to use torr in this specific, for this specific occasion. And you're talking about exponential magnitudes from 760 torr at sea level to interstellar space at 10 to the negative 17th torr. That's exponential magnitudes. 20 of them.
Right.
So
That's
don't
all.
let them fool you with the small nonsense. They have any idea what they're talking about. They just embarrass themselves. Is that it?
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Brian.
Hey, QE, hey, everybody. I just want to say something about the blue, if it's okay, the blue marble science gas pressure in a pipe things he did. What a lot of people don't really say about that is that when he started out with a pipe, before he blocked up one end of it, he had an open system, that being the pipe, and he already had gas pressure within the pipe, and the same exact gas pressure was outside the pipe because he's standing in gas pressure. So what he did is he blocked up one end, pumped in butane, and by pumping in butane, he knew 2 things would happen. Number one, that the butane gas would stay at the bottom because it's more dense and heavier than air as a gas. And number 2, that he would create a pressure differential within the pipe. All he actually did was create a pressure differential in an open system that was already surrounded by gas pressure. So he just created a completely false equivalency.
Yeah, it was how they call it. Go ahead. Sorry, Nathan, go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, when I started talking, your mic started opening up. Yeah. Back to the point. Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard. It was beyond stupid when he showed up with 2 containers, one sealed, one not sealed. Remember when I said if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape, future tense. Just because it didn't escape within the moments that he took it doesn't mean jack squat, you friggin' bonehead. Thanks, Brian. Next.
Thank you.
All right, I missed Alex Davis, so we'll go back to him, see if he's got anything to say.
Thank you. I was about to say my name's not Skip. I just wanted to see if I was still on here. Actually, I'm just listening right now, but I'm I'll chime in if that's all right whenever I hear something. That's cool.
Thanks. Please, after you're done talking, go ahead and go on mute. Mic discipline, please. Righteous.
All right, we'll try crit next.
Well, just listening in. Do a great job, guys, here with Jedi from the other server.
Thanks, Crit. Appreciate it.
And I guess Jedi is next.
Absolutely zero to add. The only way that you can stop gas from fucking off is to physically contain it with a barrier. It's the only point I want to add.
Thank you, sir.
And we got 50 Slayer, also known as an Orthodox. I guess he's away. We got Fudrix, but I'm not sure he's going to talk. Maybe he'll at least say hello. Then God Rockin'.
Yes, I haven't been here for a while. I just want to say hi to everybody. Great show. Obviously, I'm a flat earther and do believe in all of your things about the container, walls of the container, and the gas pressure. It's impossible to have gas pressure without a container. More than obvious. All the definitions that were just spoke of explain it so perfectly. It's beyond me how anybody with a sane mind cannot figure it out. Just beyond me.
Brother John, woo! Shout out to God Rockin'.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you.
And we got Nathan Thompson himself.
Nathan, sir.
Hi, QE. I don't have any questions. I know you guys are right about everything. I just want to tell everyone to support you and Nathan Oakley on Patreon like I do. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, sir.
Neil Constantino.
Neil. From Brooklyn, right? Or the Bronx?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm driving. I don't want to cause chaos. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You sound good, sir.
What's happening, QE? What do you want? You want to ask me something or I got to ask you something?
What's good, sir?
I don't know. I just picked up a bunch of and we're going to try planting some stuff. I don't know how to do this crap. I'm hoping instincts kick in.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah.
Some pottery, some soil. I don't know.
Guy. Some kind of wise guy.
He's a wise guy, boy. Yep. Thanks, Neil.
Hey, Swan. No problem. Have a good one. I'm listening.
All right.
And Redman. I don't know if Redman's there.
Yeah, I'm here. And, just looking at all the things that, we talked to other people about, if they had that scientific evidence for this gas pressure thing, then we could talk. But if we can't talk about that and you want to speculate about a whole bunch of things, then, there's no need in talking. Put the globe to rest. Thanks,
Pope.
Kiwi.
Thanks, Red. Space Pope, you there, Babs? Oh, wait, still had you on mute. Sorry about that.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to answer the gas pressure next to a vacuum question.
All right.
Okay. So space is not a vacuum. Space is a lower pressure system. And we know that gases arrange themselves according to density because at sea level, the gases are more, so the pressure is higher. At sea level, we observe a pressure of around, I think it's like 14.7 p, and it's low you go. So for us, the pressure is 33 kilopascals. So that's evidence that the pressure gets lower with altitude. So that's what's happening in our atmosphere. The higher up we go, the less dense the air is because there's less gas. And that doesn't mean that space is a vacuum. It's just a lower pressure.
Is that it, please?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, can you define vacuum that is high vacuum, ultra high vacuum, and extremely high vacuum for us, please?
Define vacuum, you said?
Yeah, because you just said it's a lower pressure system. Yeah, that's right, but that's incomplete. There are definitions for high vacuum, ultra high vacuum, extremely high vacuum, and outer space vacuum. Do you know those definitions, sir?
No, I only know one definition for vacuum.
Okay, you need to go check that because you're wrong right off the bat with your premise. Thanks.
Okay, shall we move on to the Rumpus or try the other two ballers, then Rumpus and Zanuck?
Whoever's in line.
Rumpus?
All right. Well, Q, you made an amazing demonstration of not understanding any science in that little presentation. You
Stop!
gave almost
Stop him!
Every
Stop
conclusion
him!
you came to was incorrect.
Stop him! Kick him out. He doesn't understand the rules, obviously. Next.
All right, we got Victor Croat. I'm not sure. I heard him before. And then we got Ria Boo. I'm not sure. All right. Well, we got the main event, Zanuck. Zanuck, you're off mute.
The main event.
Seems like he's away from his mic.
Well, to be fair, man's been chatting a lot in the live stream text room, so I'm sure he's got something to say.
Oh, I can make a few comments here. My voice is a little bit out of whack, but 4 things. Gas pressure doesn't need a container, only a force. Volume.
Stop. Stop. One claim at a time. You said, say that one more time, the first claim.
Oh, gas pressure doesn't need a container, only a force.
Gas pressure requires a container from Elmhurst University, from Chem Libre text. I just went over this. Did you watch the presentation?
I did. I watched it in detail, and it's you're right that a container can cause a pressure, but it's not required to have.
Yeah, it is
pressure.
It is.
That's a difference in opinion.
It is. That's what all the definitions said. So you're incorrect, and not unless you can shut him up. I don't know what the problem is, whether you can't read or whether it's some kind of cognitive dissonance. I say again, from Elmhurst University, the pressure of a gas is the force that the gas exerts on the walls of its container. From Chem Libre text, pressure is caused by gas molecules hitting the walls of the container. With a smaller volume, the gas molecules will hit the walls more frequently, and so the pressure increases. And also, you can't have volume without a container. I went over that in depth. It's over. Go ahead. Take them off mute.
Zanuck, can I just ask you a direct question? You've said, essentially, you can have gas pressure without a container. What cowbell do you have with that?
But the force that is exhibited between molecules that are hitting each other is a pressure, the force per unit area, and that is pressure. That's the air pressure you get by the contact of these molecules on each other. Now, if it hits a wall of a container, that's fine. That causes a force as well. But they can actually cause a pressure within themselves without a container, and all you need is an acceleration.
What cowbell do you have to support that? Do you have a citation that says that you can have gas pressure merely by the collisions between molecules? Do you have a citation for that?
Of course. It's the definition of gas pressure, the collisions of molecules.
I just gave the definition of gas pressure
You
twice.
gave one definition, but you don't understand.
Twice. I don't understand. Kick him. Kick him right now. That's an ad hom. Kick him.
That's not an ad hom. I'm just saying you don't understand what it means.
Yeah, you don't understand. That means you're attacking me rather than the argument. That's an ad hom. Kick him out. I'm not putting up with it, especially when I just read the definitions of gas pressure. I don't understand. Right?
Just round that out then. Just to round that out. So what he was asked for was a citation, and what he did was repeat his verbalization of what he claimed, rather than provide actual citation. I've got my eye on the live stream chat just in case he did post something, but that's what I was asking for. actual cowbell. He didn't have it. He repeated his claim verbally.
It
just to
smelled
round
like
it
a
out.
sleight of hand to me, that Nathan. He sounded like he was trying to insinuate that gas pressure is the individual interactions between the molecules. It isn't. If you take, for example, it is the pressure exerted on the container. Now, obviously, when we measure gas pressure itself, we use a meter. Now, the container itself, we become part of the container. We become part of that surface area. We occupy a volume within the thing. So, for example, if you blew a balloon up, you suppose technically do alter pressure around you by altering the local pressure. It has a knock-on effect. So in that analogy, he's trying to make out that, to me there, that the gas pressure is created by the individual molecules. It's not. The only way it's measurable is either by directly on the surface or by things that create a surface within the container. They're also part of it. And to try and ignore that fact that yourselves, etc., that's how we feel the pressure. We have a surface area. We're part of the overall surface area of the greater containment.
Right. So by analogy, if you had a giant Zorb ball and you overfilled it with pressure, so it was at a higher pressure, and then you climbed inside it, you would obviously affect the volume overall and increase the pressure because you're a physical mass inside it. So therefore, the amount of area that the volume is going to be decreased for the gas. Therefore, you're going to increase the pressure even further. And what you're saying further to that is you're actually part of the system. So you're feeling that on your skin because you're part of the walls of the container in that instance. You're just something inside that pressurized system. And the antecedent overall, of course, the main point is the container to begin with. To have that over-pressurized system, the Zorb ball, you'd have to have the Zorb ball. You couldn't just start inflating a little area in a corner that doesn't have any walls, a little cube that you're going to have at a higher pressure. No, you need a container.
Exactly.
Just to make sure everyone understands, the rumpus was kicked for an ad hom fallacy. He immediately came out of the gate with, "I don't understand science." That's argument against the man rather than the argument. And just to let you know, we're talking about gas pressure, Boyle's gas law, and the second law of thermodynamics. Natural laws have nothing whatsoever friggin' to do with science or the scientific method. Thank you.
Moving on to the black one. Because I've got more guests. Sorry. Right,
Unorthodox just wanted to say something really quick. Let me find them. Come off mute.
So I just wanted to say that QE is using a definition from chemistry. Chemistry uses containers. He needs to use a broader physics definition.
Really?
Do you have that definition handy? Unorthodox? Do you have the specific definition handy?
Go ahead. Unorthodox. Post it in chat.
Yeah. Do you understand that chemistry falls under physics? Do you understand that first? Yeah, I didn't think
Physics
so.
is the mother science. Chemistry is
Yeah, I didn't think so. All the actual sciences, just pro tip, fall under physics, by the way.
Dealing with the physical, right?
Idiot. Sorry,
Chemicals,
I'm going to kick myself out.
Yes, still waiting for your citation saying that gas pressure does not require a container. Unorthodox? Please.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. I would have thought you would have had that at the ready, but
got mine in the queue just while he's digging that out. So the thing that I wanted to reference, Quantum Eraser, if you will, when we move on to the Black Swan, a point that you feel appropriate, of course, got something to plug by another YouTuber who's done a fair bit of work on this. Neutral guy, shockingly neutral. Unbelievable that you can find someone neutral, but nevertheless, I'd call him neutral. But when you see fit, I'd like to plug it, if I may.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, man. There'll be gaps in it, sure. Yep.
50's though.
Yeah, sometime today and have somebody read it out, please.
My computer's spazzing, but I would just say, I'll find it in a second if I can, but I would just say look at the definition. What's the definition of gas pressure?
Yeah, I did. I said them
Force over
like
an
3 or
area.
4 times on here.
So the
Oh my
definition is force over area, correct?
Area, yeah.
That sounds like an
Area of
equation. That
what?
doesn't sound like a definition.
That's the
Done. Force
definition.
over area. Hold on.
No.
Force over area. Area of what?
Of anything.
A container.
No. It doesn't say force over area of the container. It says force over area. So you're changing the definition of gas pressure, saying it requires a volume because
If you don't have a container, unorthodox, what area are you measuring if you don't have a container? Just infinite area?
Any area. The area on
Any
your wall
area.
right
So
now.
just throw in whatever number. You don't have to have a specific number, which
Whatever
would
area you
require a
want to measure,
specific.
Chocolate, you get to pick that.
I'll pick a specific area. So the area at the top of the gas that Earth is creating at ground level. So that obviously gets created, it expands in all directions upward. What's it pressing on at the top? What's the area at the top? Did you not hear me? Area.
Hold on,
We need an
sorry,
area,
I'm
right?
I'm using push to talk. Okay, so this
Area.
is a concept that is you guys don't seem to understand, right? So
Matt
in
Hom,
front of
kick
my
him out.
Stop him.
Kick him out.
Stop.
Out. Bye.
Okay, so forgive me.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. So I'll just reiterate my point that he ad hommed me. Yeah. He said, well, we need to get specific about this area. So I'm asking about the area at the top of your fantasy ball Earth. What we're very specifically talking about on all these shows. Your fantasy that we're on a spinning space ball flying through a vacuum. And if we're going to have an area to have gas pressure, and we're going to be specific about the area we're talking about, I'm going to be talking about the area at the top of the gas that's produced at ground level. What's that pressing on? What area have you got? Oh, you haven't got one. You got little spaceships flying out to Mars. Nothing to impede their travel. So it's not pressing on anything. Yeah, it's going to keep going. So if the sky was a vacuum, the gas would be a space. We'd need an area, according to the guy who just ad hom me.
Did
he not- did he not-
Area sounds like an equation to me. It doesn't sound like a definition, but okay.
Did Unorthodox miss the part where QE quoted NASA on gas pressure?
Yeah, he did. He ignored it completely because the definition was read out in several different guises, whatever the word is.
Yeah, they mentioned container 3 times in that citation.
Yeah, it's over. All right. Righteous. Anyone else?
Matt came in late. Maybe he's got something to say. He was known as Eagle Plane and Anchor.
Oh, Matt. What's up, Matt?
Oh, hey, what's up, QE? Yeah, I was just jumping in, and I didn't realize my participation was required. My bad. I got nothing to say. I got nothing to add. You guys move on.
Appreciate it, sir.
Carry on.
Shout out, man.
Oh, we're
Shout out to
definitely.
Eagle Plane.
Yeah, we're definitely going to carry on. Betty.
Yes.
Any
I
admin
just-
before we get to the Black Swan? Any admin? Anything?
Yeah, we got any admin from Cleary, and he says bullets don't kill people, Coriolis does. So that's funny.
Hey, Cleary, good to have you back, man. Haven't seen you in a while. On the Coon's age. Good to have you back,
And,
man.
And from Rakia Live, does all this mean it's flat, stationary, and container created by God? Thought so. That's why most hate the subject. Darkness hates truth.
Thanks, Rakia. Right on the mark, brother, as usual. Go on, Moot, and start nesting.
Shout out, Rakia.
Is that it, Betty?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 globe killer, bar none. The Black Swan. The basis of the entire argument is simple. It's based on the horizon. Let's go through a few definitions of horizon. Horizon, from their alma mater wiki, is the apparent line that separates the earth from sky. From Merriam-Webster, horizon, the line where the earth seems to meet the sky. The apparent junction of earth and sky sailing toward the horizon. Horizon, Oxford Dictionaries, the line at which the earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. Now, I think we all understand what horizon is, right? I know I'm insulting many people's intelligences for bringing up the definitions of a self-evident, well, duh. Let's try a couple more. Bear with me. From U.S. DoD, Department of Defense, horizon. In general, the apparent or visible junction of the earth and sky, as seen from any specific position. Also called the apparent, visible, or local horizon. Local horizon? What's that mean? Let's see if National Geographic knows what that local horizon means. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and the sky. Right? Everyone got that? Why is it apparent, meaning not actually? Well, number one is well, duh, because does the sky ever appear to meet the ground or the sea? Actually? No. That makes it apparent. And number two, it's apparent because it's variable with the observer's height. What can obstruct or obfuscate or obscure the geometric horizon? Weather, atmospheric conditions, waves, tides, etc. The horizon, this is very important. The horizon, as in geometric horizon, can never be more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Now, it can be closer than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet due to weather, atmospheric conditions, waves, and tides, like I just said. But it can never be more than, under any conditions. However, on the ball-tarred ball, the geometric horizon can be no more than, like I said, what its geometric constraints allow, based on the observer's height and the radius. From Andrew Thomas Young, subject matter expert, San Diego State University, Astronomy Department. If h is in meters, that makes the distance to the geometric horizon 3.57 times the square root of the height of the eye in meters, or about 1.23 miles times the square root of the eye height in feet. Just to make sure that Andrew Thomas Young hasn't cornered the market on basic frigging geometry, the University of Washington, Department of Mathematics. So, for all practical purposes, we can estimate the distance to the horizon using 1.22459 times the square root of the height, or perhaps even more simply as just 1.2 times the square root of h, which gives the distance in miles when h is in feet. So it's the same definition as Andrew Thomas Young. Get ready. The death of the ball-tarred spinning space monkey religion. Again, if the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's the geometric horizon, folks. Isn't she a beaut? Now, I could care less what's happening with these platforms. The oil platforms, like I said on many of occasions, they can have a Chinese Superman in a purple tutu spinning around on his hobbled pink unicorn being refracted off the booms. I could care less, because that's not my argument. I could care less. The argument is this piece of real estate back here called the horizon. You know, where the sky apparently meets the ground or the sea? This thing back here. See how far away that is? It's greater than 9.41 miles. There's a problem for the Baltard religion here, folks, because the observer's height is about 1 foot. So the geometric horizon should be somewhere. It's not even in this photograph or in this still, right? It should be 1.22 miles way back here, but it's not. It's way over here. That's a big problem. The observer's height, like I said, is 1 foot. Now, I've been getting some hostile requests to make the observer's height in the Black Swan photo 1 foot. Now, I gave them 5 feet so we can continue on past what is an intentional obstruction, no pun intended, because they were trying to bog down the discussion in determining whether BMLSB was, or 69 was 1 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, I've been getting a lot of requests to take that 5 foot out, and I'm giving it serious consideration, but I digress. The observer's height is 1 foot. The distance to the horizon is greater than 9.41 miles. We can clearly see that. The distance to the horizon maximum for a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles at 1 foot observer height is 1.22 miles. That's it. No amount of mathematical or linguistic gymnastics is going to change it. Now, if we were to give them, like I did, 5 feet for BMLSB 69, the maximum distance to the geometric horizon is 2.73 miles. Obviously, that's not in this photo because the horizon is behind platform habitat at 9.41 miles when it should be way up here. I don't even know if 2.73 miles is in there, right? That's a big problem. Even if BMLSB 69 was 35 feet high right here, which is non sequitur, the maximum distance to the geometric horizon would equal 7.24 miles. That would be in between platform hillhouse and platform habitat. The argument, holy shnikes, this is going to leave a mark. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, Q. Not Q, because the horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles, therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere. The ball-tard spinning space monkey community, please allow me to introduce to you your Black Plague, the Black Swan. There she is, baby. Isn't she a beaut? Questions, comments?
Let me know in the appropriate moment to do my plug for Heath Carmody is.
It's appropriate moment.
Bring up the picture that I sent you in our side chat, Ballbusters side chat. So for those of you watching live, I'm going to put a link right now in the chat to Heath Carmody's channel. And he's developed a little piece of software called the Swanulator. And the Swanulator is an analytical tool for looking at black swan images. And he's been processing some of his own through his own software. He's asked that people send in their black swan images for him to run through his Swanalizer. Ideally 1080p. I think that's the only resolution that will work with the piece of software. But hopefully in a moment, QE will get up a screenshot of one of his own captures that he's run through his Swanalator. And he's a neutral channel, so he doesn't point out our argument. Because obviously I watch it and go, yeah, right, so it's beyond the geometric. He doesn't do any of that. He just says, here's the geometric horizon, here's eye level, here's where the flat Earth, never-ending distance vision should be, and so on and so forth. So he just puts the lines on the picture and shows it with a little black swan like a cursor that he moves around with the swan, and it moves the lines up and down. You'll see, hopefully, if we get the picture up. But check him out. Hopefully a few people can actually send on their images to him. He's obviously gone to quite a lot of work to do this. So ideally, if you've got something that you think is a black swan, check it out. Heath Carmody's sort of explanation for what a swan analyzer is and what it requires from you if you think you've got a black swan. So there you go. Check out his channel. I've put links to him. Hopefully he'll gain a few subscribers. And don't be in any way apprehensive if you're a baller or flat earther. He is, as I say, neutral, as far as I can tell.
Did you request for me to do something?
Put something up on screen. Yeah, the image. It's in our side chat in Discord.
In Ballbusters Live?
Ballbusters side chat. Ballbusters side chat.
Yeah, Ballbusters live stream, right?
No. Ballbusters side chat.
Oh, geez. You need to get... All right, 1 second.
Yeah, I'll just rattle through that again. So there's not so much to there. So yeah, Heath Carmody.
Wait. Hold on. Hold up. I do not have it.
Really?
Nope. So go ahead and continue. And I'll be out for 2 minutes. I'll be out
just
for
tell
2
me where
Is it in Discord?
Just tell me where in Ballbusters side.
Just hold on for a second. I'll be out for 2 minutes. Carry on.
No, Nathan put it in panel Ballbusters text, didn't you?
Panel Ballbusters text. Okay, thank you, Ari.
Right, it's the other channel. It's the other
You have to
text.
specify whether it's Discord or Skype, I think, because this makes...
Discord.
Yeah, because we get confused.
Literally the longest plug anybody ever has had. So Heath Carmody, shout out to you, my friend. I'm sure you're very grateful for this bit of administration while we're plugging your channel and your Swanalizer. I put it in panel Ballbusters text.
Is it Swanalizer?
Yeah, Swanalizer.
Is that a new word?
It's what he's dubbed his program. So on this particular screenshot, I picked it because it's got all of the various different, things that you can check, the checkboxes for the software itself, and he's got a lot of them checked, so you can see the various lines that it puts on the image that he's running through in the software. So, I mean, if we don't get there, it's not the end of the world. I'll just eventually have to stop plugging Heath Carmody.
It's a little weird that we hear that the black swan is a dead argument, yet people are creating software based on this argument. That's a little strange.
Wait a minute, but that swan
It's
is
a
not
digitized black swan.
the swan is not dead. It's very much alive.
The black swan shall assimilate you.
Yeah, the black swan has destroyed the globe and the radius. Because at best, what you've done here is disprove the radius. So
yeah. Let's just run through the analogy. Some people get the Karl Popper analogy. So the idea of using this analogy of black swans is because the idea that we have all white swans is the assertion that we have all geometric horizons. So it would be asserted by a fundamentalist religious zealot who believes he's standing on the surface of a model that's sphere-shaped, that the demarcation point between Earth and sky represents the geometric physical edge of his sphere belief, or her sphere belief. So that idea is to assert that the horizon is the edge of a sphere, and therefore all horizons are the edges of spheres. Now, within the argument, it's explained, and has been several times by quantum eraser, that you can have the horizon be brought closer. For instance, if you put a brick wall in front of you, you've got a local horizon closer. It's very easy to bring the horizon closer, but the horizon cannot be beyond a certain point. Now, the assertion that we have all white swans is to say we have geometric horizons, sphere edge horizons. And as soon as you demonstrate that you have a geometric impossibility, something that is beyond the limitations of the geometry itself, the geometry being the physicality of a sphere Earth, then you break the notion that horizons are sphere edges. That's why we're now being told by our opponents, well, no, they're refracted. In other words, not physical geometric sphere edges. So it's obviously a black swan argument on account of the fact that even our opponents are telling us how non-geometric the horizon now is. Apart from those who regress to the 2016 state, bury their head in the sand in a vague hope that they can ignore the black swan argument and just say, yeah, well, look, I've got an example that roughly correlates with the maths we used to use before we declared that we don't have any physical geometric sphere edges for horizons. So a black swan is a horizon beyond the parameters and physical limitations of a sphere Earth. And once you've shown one, and you only need one, you never have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon ever again. And to address this, it's highlighted the part of the rhetoric, which was already in place, that states we will never ever see a geometric horizon unless the violation that is the sky vacuum was to suck out all of the air and leave us with no atmosphere and only the geometric, non-refracted horizon. Ergo, horizons are never geometric sphere edges. Well, that's just a problem that needs doublespeak for the fundies down here. It doesn't alter that is the basis of a sphere Earth belief. That the horizon is the geometric edge of a sphere. And if it isn't the geometric edge of a sphere, you no longer have an R value, which was the thing giving you your geometric sphere edge horizon, and everything that's based on it collapses. Ergo, not a dead swan, the end of globe geometry and the end of heliocentric belief. It becomes untenable. Now, it may take time for the people at a slightly more suppressed cognition level to actually appreciate that you'll never have a geometric horizon again, even if your own people are telling you you can, quote, never see a geometric horizon. So it may take time, but it's the end of the road for heliocentric belief. Far from being dead, it kills your globe religion.
Sir, is the photo correct?
I haven't got the live stream up. I'll just check. Just a
Can I
moment.
add something
Yes,
on
it is.
top of that?
You can.
That was-
Just as I've been asked, and then yes, go ahead. So yes, that's Heath Carmody
Beautiful.
Swanulator.
Okay.
It's Heath Carmody Swanulator on picture, and I've posted a link to his channel now. So that's his lines, and you can see all the different checkboxes and how the software, it gives you a vague idea of how the software is actually going to perform when you run an image through it. So there you go, check him out, Heath Carmody, longest plug ever.
Hey, thanks, man. I like the black swan over there in the corner, man. It's cool. I'll get with you after the show or tomorrow on it, man. It's wild. Thanks. Go ahead, Arvin.
Can I make my point?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. So I just wanted to say, like, isn't it ironic that the ballers say that the only way to see the Earth as a globe is for the natural consequent of their model to set in, which would be a vacuum. Because only if the natural consequence of what would happen if the Earth would be as their model, mainly the air getting sucked off into space, that's the only way in which you can actually see that the Earth is a globe. I just wanted to kind of make everyone think about that for a minute.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Chaco.
Yeah. There's nothing to say here. I mean, we already know. Again, obviously Nathan summed it up beautifully, but they haven't realized yet that their own rebuttals to this argument are the concession, the denial of their own model, of their own geometry, by saying we don't see a geometric horizon. Well, that's a little weird because a horizon is something you see, and if you can't see it, it's not a horizon. So don't know what's going on there. Got to catch up. Yeah, I mean, it's done. That you have no geometry for this globe model. your radius is finished. I mean, it's just a wrap. There's nothing else you can say. I'm done.
Tenth.
10th is gone. He had to do something. Message to tell you.
Unacceptable.
Tell it to him. Don't shoot the messenger.
Adam. He's not here either.
Nope. He popped out without messaging. So
he's the one who dropped out without
not
messaging. No problem. No problem.
Can I
What
do
else?
some shout outs for
Yeah.
super chats then?
Yes, please.
Okay. I got 2 of them. I got one from Rakia Live. Social distancing equals evil. Nesting equals good. Very good. Rakia Live.
Yeah, it's an inside
And
joke.
I think he's right, by the way. I think that it's evil to keep people apart. I think that's more evil than I think that the cure of the whole thing is more evil than the sickness itself, the sort of supposed sickness, right? And then
It's
we got
not
another
very nice to push it on people during springtime, you know?
Yeah.
Like when the hormones start getting into work and it's like, oh, now you're going to tell everyone to keep a distance? Really?
Well,
It's not
I've
very
noticed
encouraging.
today that the people aren't that interested in doing that anymore. Where I went for groceries, so maybe people are starting to realize things, right? I got another super chat from Amanda Young. And shout out to QE, Betty, Arwin, Chocolate saying, keep up the great work. Thumbs up, 100 and heart. I don't think that you are mentioned there, Nathan, so I will do a shout out for you. Shout out to Nathan, doing a great job too, every day.
You got any people that haven't abused their clean slate righteous?
Oh, we ain't done yet.
My bad.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We've got some more to go. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you want to have some people chime in if there is anything to do now, right?
You want to have them chime in now?
Yeah, why not?
Because
there are people that want to chime in on this.
so we'll keep their attention. I understand, because their attention spans go quick. I get it. Not a problem. Righteous.
All right.
You got the con, sir?
Sure, we can start with Brian. You there, Brian? You may be having mic issues. Drop and rejoin. Give me a sec. All right, try now.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, all I'd say about it is that the most ridiculous rebuttal to the Black Swan that I've seen is when when the ballers show other 1 foot observation videos made by the same guy from the same location, looking in the same direction at the same 2 platforms. It's like, how often is there more than 1 foot swell? It's nearly all the time at least 1 foot or more. So if you have a 1 foot observation height and there's a 1 foot swell, you're not going to see anything. Even if there's a 9-inch swell, you're going to have a hard time seeing anything. So it's the most ridiculous rebuttal to the whole lot. It's like, how often do we have a 1 foot swell on the ocean and more? It's all the time. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I add to that, QE? Do you mind if I add something to that?
I just wanted to say before you add that the photo that Brian was talking about is on screen now for the audience. Go ahead, Nathan.
That's why I was going to chime in. So you've put that picture up, and I mentioned this at the start of the show. So there was a dude who's rebutted the black swan by showing a white swan, and at a cursory glance, as far as I can tell, it's actually a black swan. as is the case with the image on screen. So there's been a few people who've done this, including Simon Dan and AB Science, a couple of others. But they've put up a picture and gone, well, what's your explanation for why the bottom of this platform's blocked? And it's like, the platform was never ever a part of the argument. The horizon, on the other hand, let's just have a quick look at that. Let's see if that's a black. Oh, what do you know? It's beyond the geometric certitude that your model was offering that claim we were on a sphere. This is a black swan. So, understand the argument. We'll often throw up these. It's worth double checking my point, Brian. It's worth checking whether or not when they're throwing up these white swans, if they're actually white swans.
Outstanding point, Nathan, because this is a black swan. I went back to this video and made sure this is probably between 1 and 3 feet camera height. So that means the geometric horizon should be roughly right around 2 miles, a little bit further. As you can see in this photo right here, over here with the horizon, you can almost see the base of Platform Hill House. This is at 6.2 miles, right? This is a white swan.
Black swan.
A black swan! Sorry. This is a black swan, most definitely. Now, I can't be precise on where the actual horizon is, but I know that it's much, much further than 2 miles. Follow? Thanks.
Because it's refracted.
What?
Actual horizon, you say? Is that in opposition to the apparent horizon?
Yeah, because I just used their rebuttal. I went, because it's refracted.
Oh, shit, I didn't hear you.
That obviously what they previously claimed, without any much consideration to where the horizon's actually situated, would say, look, the bottom of this is blocked. Got to be Earth curve. It's the only cause. But now we're going, hang on, let's just see where the horizon is now. Oh, what do you know? This actually debunks your geometry. And their rebuttal, well, it's not geometry. We never see a geometric horizon. Hold on, wasn't it blocking the bottom of this a minute ago? You know what I mean?
Whoa. How can somebody say, and Chocolate brought this up before, that you can't see the horizon when the definition of the horizon is the visible boundary between the earth and sky? It's like, that doesn't, it's a train wreck right on its face. It's like, look at the non...
Stop. No, it's not a train wreck. Because there's just a mild correction you've not included.
What's that?
We do not see the geometric horizon in their model because it doesn't represent reality. Their model being a globe Earth model. The globe Earth model and its horizon can never be seen because it's not real.
It's in their model, though. It's marked with the red X.
Just need to wave my hand as my baller persona and say, we do not see the geometric horizon.
That's what I'm saying. The horizon, by definition, is visible, right? It's like saying, look at the non-visible rainbow.
The geometric horizon is refracted into the apparent horizon.
Refracted. Oh, we're going to get into that here in a few minutes. Righteous, go ahead.
All right, give me a sec. Buster 2. You want to add something?
No, thanks. Good stuff.
All right, Crit.
Yep, nothing to add. Thank you.
All right. Slayer is off the list. Go on to God Rockin'. God Rockin', you there? If not, we go to Mazar 19.
Yeah, I'm here. What was the question? I was just fixing my mom's dryer for a second here. While I was listening. So what's the subject here? Let me comment real quick.
The Black Swan, man.
What about it? It's obvious. It's the horizon is the modus tollens is, can't argue with it. The math works out. Seems how we've been given the radius, and math works out that the horizon should be like somewhere around 1 or 2 miles out, and it's way beyond 10. And so it's, to me, it's unrefutable. I just don't understand. And then one thing about the horizon looming, I got one comment on that too. And that is that it clearly states in the looming description that it is describing objects that are above the horizon that are loomed up. It says nothing about the horizon being loomed up. It only mentions objects above the horizon. And I maintain the fact that you got to get light behind it's got to be up above the horizon for the refraction and for any effect like looming or whatever to take place. It's got to be above the water, above the horizon. Can't get light down into the water or any refraction effects down inside the horizon or inside the globe. You'd have to, the light would have to be coming from inside the globe somehow or inside the water in order for the horizon to be loomed up. So it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're just spouting off shit that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, they're making it up. Yeah, they're making it up because they have a problem. Their first problem is they don't know the difference between above and beyond, and they have a bigger problem that we're going to go over here in a minute, that their looming definition is incorrect also, but we'll get to that. Thanks, God Rocket.
You bet. Thank you.
Go ahead.
From the rumpus. So you know it's looming because of its position with respect to the horizon, end quote, the rumpus. So he would define things as looming based on their position with respect to the horizon. Because obviously back then, when I got that quote several years ago from Rumpus during the debate, they were utilizing the geometric horizon as an obstruction.
Right. That was
also known as the
Now
curve.
you're talking post Black Swan history. I mean pre Black Swan
Remember?
history.
Yeah.
When they called it the curve.
Well, yeah, when they called it the curve.
They don't call it that anymore.
It's PBS.
I just see no way possible to loom the horizon. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say on a side note, they're currently suggesting that we, stay at home and flatten the curve. Thought I'd drop that in there.
Yeah, because it's we can see the end on the horizon.
I was going to drop that in. Took the words out of my mouth. That was the other one. Yeah, because of this Black Swan event, we need to stay at home and flatten the curve. Hopefully, the end of Corona is on the horizon, according to mainstream news reporting, which is parroted on all of the different news networks.
They
there you
trolling
go.
us.
I was looking for three before I made a big deal of it. But the Black Swan event that is Corona, coincidentally, we're talking about the Black Swan, but just forget that for a moment. So the Black Swan event, coronavirus, needs to be solved by staying at home and flattening the curve. And hopefully the end is on the horizon.
Hope we don't flatline then.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Keyword manipulation, I'd call that.
Righteous.
Okay. Bizarre 1985.
Excellent presentation, detailed as well. The only question I've got is if the globe isn't a perfect sphere, they say it's oblate. So would the measurements not be the exact same all the time? If that makes any sense. If they say it's oblate, so it's not a perfect sphere. So with the measurements, it would always be different. That makes sense.
Mr. Sensible
So
defense.
how would you always apply it to the perfect sphere? If that makes any sense.
It's the Mr. Sensible defense. It might make a difference of about a mile. Until you run the difference through the calculator and then see that you've actually got halfway to the moon with your radius when you calculate it with the Black Swan. It makes more than a mile difference, let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. I agree with that. You can't always have that. You can't have more than 6 miles, 8 miles. You know what I mean? So it's got to be realistic at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But obviously they say it's oblate, so it's not a perfect sphere. So you can't always apply their geometrics all the time to a perfect sphere.
Really? Well, somebody better call NASA and get those quote
Yeah, the pictures that
unquote
they-
photos back. Unbelievable.
So I agree. A great presentation anyway, Quantum Eraser.
Thank you.
But just as a summary to that point, so when you take the black swan and run the maths, if you were to draw your triangles and work out where the tangent line is and all that crap, you're going to end up with a sphere that's orders of magnitude bigger than the one they claim. So yeah, in their rhetoric, they might say, oh, well, we've got a bit of wiggle room here. Look, it could be a little bit off because the radius could be slightly, well, yeah, within a tiny, tiny, tiny margin, which the black swan is smashing into the middle of next week, because it, like I say, is orders of magnitude bigger sphere. If you were to assume with the black swan that you've got a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon, obviously not. They wouldn't be telling us you've got to suck all the air out as a defense if that wasn't the case. That's how bad the situation is for a physical horizon when you measure it with the black swan.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, Nathan. Thank you very much.
Yep.
At best, the radius of Earth is completely up for grabs.
Well, according to this photo right here, 1 second. According to this photo that's on screen right now, as we can see, the horizon is further than 9.41 miles. It's definitely, let's just make it 10 miles, which is a tear-jerking belly laugher because it's further than that. If the horizon in this photo is 10 miles, then the radius of the Earth is 264,000 miles. That's it. Over.
And claim distance to the moon is less than that, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I was saying half a distance to the moon. You're kidding me. So you're talking about the begging the question, orbital path of the moon becomes the radius. My God.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
See Pythagoras if you have any problems with those calculations, people. Thank you.
Yeah, just to put it in context, the gas giant Jupiter, the radius of that's only like a little more than 43,000 miles.
Yep.
So do the math. Work it out.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Righteous.
Neil Constantino.
Neil!
Well, yo, am I coming in clear?
Yes.
Yo, what's up, dude?
I'm in a supermarket now. Now I gotta buy food. First I buy the seeds. Now I gotta buy the food. No toilet paper. Oh, what's going on here? I got an issue. If the Earth is that big, then why am I stuck in this small area? 264,000 miles? I want a bigger space to live in.
Touch your face.
Ain't I entitled to that? Nah,
Well, there's always more room in your imagination, you know?
Yeah. Great presentation, Q. You're the man. I learned a lot from you guys. Keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you, and you're welcome. Righteous.
Okay, Redman's at work, so we're moving on to Babs. Are you there, Babs?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
He's asking what the difference between an oblate and a regular sphere is. So within
He's chopping.
it has two. I'm chopping?
Yeah.
Oh.
First question, what's the difference between a regular sphere and an oblate sphere?
Yeah, okay, so what's the difference between a regular sphere and an oblate spheroid? With an oblate spheroid, you have two radius values, one on the x-axis and one on the y-axis. The x-axis being north to south, and the y-axis being west to east. And on a regular sphere, you only have one radius. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is in this discussion, when referring to light, we talk about Snell's law, and Snell's law refers to light and other. Am I still chopping?
No, you're still good. Remember, people on the panel, mic discipline. If you're not speaking, go on mute. Go on, Babs.
Yeah. Okay. So Snell's law refers to light and other waves passing through a boundary between two different isotropic media, such as water and glass. So our atmosphere is similar to this because we're dealing with different media, different densities. And we know that with altitude, the air gets colder, and colder air is denser than warmer air. So whenever we're looking at things from altitude, we're always going to see sinking refraction as a result of that density differential. So the horizon is always going to appear to sink. So the globers see that and they say that that is Earth curve, ignoring the effects of atmospheric refraction.
Thanks, Babs. Righteous.
No problem.
All right, just one more. Victor Croat. Can you chat now? Well, he came off mute, but we can't hear you.
Re-log in.
Have him drop out, come back in. I am going to make a command decision. I am going to pardon Zanuck, right? It seemed that he had some remorse, and it was authentic that he ad homed. It's just part of their game. So I'm going to pardon Zanuck. Go ahead.
Blessed be.
Go ahead, Zanuck. Or unless Victor got his mic sorted out. No, I'm just going to disconnect you, Victor. Just come back. Go ahead, Zanuck. Zanuck?
We hear you clicking, Zanuck.
Oh.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was away from the server for a while.
Go ahead. It sounds like you're having some voice problems. I hope everything's all right, but you've been pardoned. Go ahead. Anything on the Black Swan, please.
Oh, the geometric versus apparent actual discussion. I don't know what I'm missing here, but everyone I think would agree that there is a geometric horizon. If there is a horizon, that there would be something called geometric, physical, geometrically able to be determined based on angles and distances. If there was refraction, that position would then change because you would not see it. It would actually be further away due to downward refraction, cause things to loom upward. And this is more semantics maybe, but it seems like it's one of a point of contention that the downward refraction causing something to be seen further away is causing another horizon further away.
That's none of the, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you. That's none of the definitions of refraction. We're going to go over them here in a few minutes. So,
I know the definition of refraction.
Yeah, that doesn't, none of the types of refraction say that it can move the geometric horizon 10 times further than it should be. No type of refraction exists like that.
It's a small angle change to have something 10
No, it's
times.
not.
Hold on 1 second, Zanuck. Sorry to interrupt. So at this point, you're being challenged to actually provide cowbell again. So you've claimed, yes, a refractive effect can move the horizon. It's geometric. It's a non sequitur. I'll just highlight that now. But
Well,
if
really,
you can
it's
provide
implied,
that
isn't it?
citation, then move on. So if you can provide that citation, we can then move on.
I think it'd be implied if something is loomed upward, that means that horizon would not be there because the horizon means to be
I
obscured.
want more. I'll try a third time. If you can provide that citation as opposed to something that you imply, we can move on.
I'll try to find a citation for you that would actually satisfy you in that regard. But I think it's
Several-
not me implying
no worries.
it.
No worries.
It's
You
implied.
toddle along, no worries. You toddle along and find your citation. QE's got lots lined up. We
Yeah.
move on.
Yep.
Knock yourself out.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Yep.
We're going to try Victor Croat one more time.
Okay. Last one, Righteous. Then we're going to move.
Yeah, that's it. Just him, if he can talk. And I guess he hasn't figured it out or something's wrong.
All right.
That's it.
Mike Discipline, please. We're going to move on. All right. Potential debunks. Number 1 and 2 are taken care of in the collector's edition of the number 1 Globe Killer. Excuse me. The first one was BMLSB 69 isn't 1 foot. if you watch the video, you'll clearly see that he is 1 foot, maybe less. And number 2, there's land or islands behind the platforms. I take that out back to the woodshed and club it senseless in that video. So catch up with that one. Number 3, we don't / never see the geometric horizon. If anyone says that, you say, welcome to flat Earth. And we already went over this. The definition of the horizon is that it is the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. Horizons are visible, or they wouldn't be horizons. White swans, this one's about ready to go. I'm about ready to remove this photo because in actuality, this is another black swan. Right? This is another black swan, but I can't be precise on the exact distance to the horizon, but I know that it's much further than 1.22 miles. So this is actually a black swan. Number 5, Q is a straw man. We don't believe that. So then you say, welcome to flat Earth, because Q in the modus tollens is then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Right? This is the geometry of their sphere. The geometry of their sphere is not a straw man. For crying out loud, it's the entire argument. And number 6, refraction. So the geometric horizon, my argument, is refracted. You're retard. Welcome to flat Earth. Geometry, horizon, geometric. It's physical. It's hard and fast. It's just that simple, folks. Like I said, we already went over this photo before. This is a black swan, folks. I don't care, like I said, what's happening with these platforms. I could care less. My whole argument is the horizon. That's it. And this one is clearly beyond 1.22 miles when this platform is 6 miles away. I don't even have to go over this. Atmospheric refraction. This is, like I said, just like gravity, because they are the two saviors of the spinning ball space monkey religion. We all know it, because what gets parroted? Bagak! Gravity. One word response to an argument. Or bagak! Refraction. Really? What type of refraction? Atmospheric refraction? Prism refraction? Double slit? No, that's diffraction. Sorry about that. But there's different types. Magnifying glass refraction, right? Let's get the definitions. Let's find out what atmospheric refraction exactly is, because the Baltards don't know what it is. They've never known what it was. From their alma mater wiki, atmospheric refraction near the ground produces mirages. Such refraction can also raise or lower, or stretch or shorten the images of distant objects without involving mirages. Boy, that looks like there's 5 types of refraction here. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 types. From their alma mater wiki again, with a little help from Andrew Thomas Young. He is number 2 in this citation right here. Excuse me. While mirages are the best known atmospheric refraction phenomena, looming and similar refraction phenomena do not produce mirages. Mirages show an extra image or images of the mirage object, while looming, towering, stooping, and sinking do not. No inverted image is present in those phenomena either. Depending on the atmospheric conditions, the objects can appear to be elevated or lowered, stretched or stooped. These phenomena can occur together, changing the appearance of different parts of the objects in different ways. Sometimes these phenomena can occur together with a true mirage. Now, let's go through them again. Ready? 1, mirages. 2, looming. 3, towering. 4, stooping. 5, sinking. There are 5 types of atmospheric refraction. I didn't say the causes just yet. I said the types, the effects. So let's take a look. So, like I said, there are 5 effects or types of refraction. Let's go through. I know this is going to be hard to understand. See, when you say refraction in regard to the Black Swan photo, then guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to take each type of refraction, I'm going to define it, and then I'm going to context it with the photo to see if you're just making shit up. Let's see if you're making shit up. So the horizon is mirage. Well, what does mirage mean? Mirages show an extra image or images of the mirage object. Is there an extra horizon in the Black Swan photo? Is there an extra horizon or image of the horizon in this photo? Or is there only one horizon? Well, there's only one. That means it's non sequitur to say it's a mirage. See how I did that? Let's do 2 and 3 together. So the horizon is towering or stooping? Well, what are those? From Andrew Thomas Young again, via their alma mater wiki. Towering and stooping change the apparent shape of the object itself. With towering, objects appear stretched. With stooping, objects seem to be shortened. Is the horizon stretched or shortened in the Black Swan photo? Is the horizon stretched or shortened in this photo? No. Well, because it's non sequitur. That's why. 3 down, 2 to go. Sinking. From Humphreys, William, Physics of the Air. Sinking is the opposite of looming. In sinking, stationary objects that are normally seen above the horizon appear to be lowered, or may even disappear below the horizon. In looming, the curvature of the rays, which don't exist, is increasing, while sinking produces the opposite effect. Is the horizon lowered or disappeared in the Black Swan photo? Is the horizon lowered or disappeared in this photo? No? No. Well, because that's non sequitur. 4 down, 1 to go. Mic discipline, please. Looming. This is the main guy they go for, don't they? Let's take a look. Wiki, looming is the most noticeable and most often observed of these refraction phenomena. It is abnormally large refraction of the object that increases the apparent elevation of the distant objects and sometimes allows an observer to see the objects that are located below the horizon under normal conditions. Let's go with Andrew Thomas Young, subject matter expert, San Diego State University, astronomy department. The appearance above the horizon of a distant object that would normally be hidden below it. We'll get to the second part of this definition here in a few minutes. It doesn't have anything to do with this. So, is the horizon appearing above the horizon in the Black Swan photo? Is the horizon appearing above the horizon in this photo? No. Then it's not looming. It's not towering or stooping. It's not mirages. It's not sinking. There is nothing to do with the horizon and atmospheric refraction by definitions. Questions, comments?
Check with Zanuck, see if he's found his citation.
Yes, sir.
Hustle him off mute if you're there, Righteous.
Yeah, hold on. I was just chatting with Betty. Zanuck, you there?
I am. I have a few things I have to put in a form I can post here, but let me keep on working on it. A lot of it's implied. That's what I said earlier. I'm looking for the citation that actually specifically states that the horizon moves further away. it can be implied that it does when you see something beyond the horizon, because the horizon means a point of divide where the objects are obscured behind it. So if something's not obscured beyond it, that horizon would then move.
We don't need to reassert your nonsense. We're looking for a citation that's a refractive effect that moves the geometric horizon specifically, and you're working on it.
Andrew Thomas Young has the best approximation to that request, but I'll find something else.
You just heard them, though. QE just went through them from Andrew Thomas Young's website. Okay, so in conclusion, Zanek's only source after a bit of digging is the citation put out by
Andrew Thomas Young has
great.
You can regard the dip of the horizon as the sum of the geometric dip and the terrestrial refraction.
Is this a citation? Is this a citation?
Yes,
I was
it is
just,
a citation.
just referring to citation. Please shut him up. Shut him up. Right. Someone else. Can somebody read out his citation? Let's see what he's got.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. So by Andrew Thomas Young, he says, you can regard the dip of the horizon as the sum of the geometric dip and the terrestrial refraction at the apparent horizon.
So let me get it straight. Andrew Thomas Young has described something as a horizon that's the sum of something we don't see.
It's painfully it's so wrong. We're going to get to terrestrial refraction here in a moment. We're waiting to see a citation that has a type of atmospheric refraction that can move the horizon 10 times beyond the place where it should be. That citation did not. One more chance, Zanuck.
Well, doesn't the citation say that the horizon is apparent?
Yeah, it's redundant.
Right. So can't be geometric then.
The geometric horizon is apparent by definition.
Right. But they have no geometry because it says the sum of the geometric dip. Well, how do you sum that up if you can't measure the geometry? Where did they get the dip from?
Exactly.
All
Just checking, Zanuck.
Yeah. Zanuck, we're going to have to move on, sir.
All right, he's on server meet. Do you guys wanted to say something to him? Or have him respond?
Yes.
We're moving on.
All right, Zanuck.
Yeah, let him.
Well,
Go ahead.
Zanuck, put yourself back on mute.
I don't think you'll find a citation that'll address your exact specific dimensions of 10 mile or 10 times the amount of distance change in the horizon. But I think Andrew Thomas Young sums it perfectly. The dip of the horizon is the sum of the geometric dip and the terrestrial refraction.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and shut him up. He didn't. I don't. Do you listen to the rebuttals? Is my question, because obviously you didn't. So we're going to move on, Zanuck. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's go with the second part of this definition, because he did mention in Zanuck's citation about terrestrial refraction. So we're going to take a look at that. So we're back on looming again. This effect, now we're looking at the cause of looming. This effect is caused by unusually large terrestrial refraction, usually due to a thermal inversion. Looming is the opposite of sinking. Both are refraction phenomena, but not mirages. See the table of refraction phenomena, Andrew Thomas Young. So, terrestrial refraction. This, folks, is a stone cold begging the question fallacy. You ask why? As evidenced by. Does light refract? Answer, yep. Is that the same that can be accounted for by terrestrial refraction? Answer, nope. Keyword terrestrial. You see, terrestrial refraction already assumes a sphere. That is, the calculations assume the radius of the Earth, the curvature. From Andrew Thomas Young, San Diego State University. The atmosphere is also curved as it follows the shape of the Earth. In the calculations below, we'll adopt a rough value of 6,400 kilometers as the radius of curvature to make the calculation simple. So he just adopted them. You adopted a begging question fallacy, Professor, because you're assuming the premise, atmosphere is curved, which is a non sequitur, you need to be institutionalized, then by proxy, Earth curvature to prove the conclusion true. That is terrestrial refraction or looming. That equals a textbook begging the question fallacy, circular banjo do-si-do. Sir, let's take a look at this, because even within their definition, now, I'm staying within their paradigm. Even within their paradigm, it's incorrect. But I'm going to show you now that their definition, or Andrew Thomas Young's definition of looming, is incorrect. Again, looming, the appearance above the horizon of a distant object that would normally be hidden below it. From quantum eraser, Andrew Thomas Young's Huckleberry, looming is nothing more than an optical illusion produced by the sky being inferior mirage underneath an object, giving the appearance of said objects floating above a false horizon. Here it is. Here is their quintessential example of looming, and it is defined exactly by my definition, not his. Right? Now, I told you guys before to use off-center vision with this. If you use off-center vision, you can clearly see where the horizon is. It's right off the bow right here, right? But we don't need that. We have Mick West to the rescue, because Mick West caught a hold of this photo, and the press was calling it a mirage, a Fata Morgana, in fact. So Mick was right to call them out, because they are incorrect. This is not a mirage, because there is no inverted image in this photo. So he's correct right here. Good job, Mick. And Mick did us a favor. He contrasted the background. So the real horizon is right here, like we can see with off-center vision above. Mick also added the false horizon, which is correct. However, he claimed the fault that this horizon was due to fog. However, if we took his cause and evaluated it, the fog bank, if that were true, would block the boat. We wouldn't see the boat, Mick. There's a fever in the bunkhouse now, Mick. Unbelievable. Here's some more looming, right? This is from the Scottish Open in 2014. Just look at the left photo over here. You don't even have to use off-center vision. You can clearly see where the horizon is and the fake horizon. Right? Now, if you go over here, the color contrasted, guess what? It's even more clear. It's in the same spot. And it follows my definition now, doesn't it? Looming is nothing more than an optical illusion produced by the sky being inferior mirage underneath an object, giving the appearance of said objects floating above a false horizon, right? You have the sky up here being inferior mirage underneath this object, and it has a false horizon right here. That's it. This is the best one in my opinion. Like Betty said, it looks like the boats are being raptured, right? This is looming in their definition. But as we can see, it's actually quantum eraser's definition, because you have the sky being inferior mirage underneath these boats, which is given a false impression that these boats are floating all along with a false horizon. We can see that this is false because this horizon is fragmented. Horizons don't fragment, right? And you can actually see the clouds being, now it's a collage of the clouds, but you can actually see them being reflected down onto the water. It's over. Again, whose definition is correct? Questions, comments? Don't all jump in at the same time.
Smoke if you got them. What else is there to say at this point?
There is one thing. It's non sequitur. The whole argument when you start applying refraction is non sequitur. Because, by definition, if it's geometric, you're going to be utilizing geometry, drawing straight lines. So, as soon as you start arguing about how refracted the horizon is, it's no longer geometric. And based on the definitions given here by Zanuck and Andrew Thomas Young, you've got a requirement for the geometric horizon, which in the example, when you beg the question, utilizes a position that isn't real, isn't a horizon. So once you start fiddling with what is fixed and physical, that would be geometric, it's no longer geometric. So for me, yeah, time down to what they think is the refractive effect, if you will. But for me, it's a completely non sequitur.
Yes, sir. In fact, it's also a red herring fallacy. It's irrelevant. It's a diversion. As we have clearly demonstrated. This is about the geometric horizon, and we're going to rock with that. We got one more section to go. We're going to go over a couple topics, and then we'll round it up. Betty, any admin you want to get to, please?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, there's no admin.
Outstanding. Nope. Thank you very much. We're going to rock and roll. Oh, boy. Horizons. Now I'm going to give you, there's 5 definitions of horizon here, and each are from National Geographic. If it's not from National Geographic, I will identify it as so. So, number 1, the local horizon. We've seen this before. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. Should be no problems with that. Number 2, the geographic horizon is the apparent boundary between the Earth and the sky. Well, the geometrical horizon, by definition, is also apparent, so the geographic horizon is the geometric horizon. Follow? Let's try number 3. The sea level horizon is the geographic horizon at sea level. Well, since the geographic horizon is the apparent boundary between the Earth and the sky, and the geographic horizon is the geometrical horizon because that's also the apparent boundary between the Earth and the sky, then the sea level horizon being the geographic horizon, all the while geographic horizon is the geometric horizon, they're all talking about one and the same geometric horizon. Follow? Probably not. Number 4, the astronomical horizon, this is from National Geographic, is the imaginary horizontal. Whoa. We work at the really is level here, not in our imagination. So, let's see if we get another astronomical horizon. This is from Encyclopedia Britannica. Horizon in astronomy is the boundary where the sky seems to meet the ground or sea. Thank you. That is by definition the geometric horizon. Appreciate that. Number 5. The true horizon is the imaginary plane that I'm sorry. Like I said, maybe you didn't listen to the last time I said. Listen more closely. We deal here with the really is level, not the imaginary level. Okay? So, these 4 definitions all define are all one, the geometrical horizon, no matter how many times they feebly attempt to equivocate fallacy, the geometrical horizon. Got this a few weeks ago. The apparent horizon and the geometric horizon. Is there a problem with this geometric horizon? Let's look at the definition again. The local horizon, also called... Mike, discipline, please. Thank you. The local horizon, also called the geometrical horizon, is the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. This is not the visible boundary between the Earth and the sky. This is the visible boundary. where you got apparent here. And by the way, the geometric horizon is apparent by definition. So you need to put this up here. You need to get rid of this apparent because it's painfully redundant. This right here is the geometric horizon. Thank you very much. This is usually what we get in all different forms. It boils down to this. So we have the astronomical horizon, the apparent horizon, the artificial horizon, the horizon to be named later, and the geometric horizon. You see how this is preposterous, ludicrous absurdity, folks. No other way to describe it. Ray tracing. If you haven't heard this term before, you will. Let's go over it real quick. This is from Andrew Thomas Young. Some people have worried about how to apply the refraction law to such a horizontal ray of light, because it does not cross any horizontal boundaries between denser and less dense air in a stratified atmosphere. In general, the curvature of the ray is different from the curvature of the Earth's surface, but here we are only concerned with rays that bend just enough to follow the curve of the Earth, begging the question fallacy, the simplest solution to the horizontal ray paradox. You guys need to look up what the word paradox means. The horizontal ray paradox is to remind ourselves that rays are an unrealistic mental construct. In reality, we always have a beam of light. Infinitely narrow rays don't really exist. Andrew Thomas Young, subject matter expert, San Diego State University, Astronomy Department. And finally, Al-Biruni. Bubby! You see, these folks didn't get the radius of their fairy tale spinning ball space monkey religion from Eratosthenes. Let me just make that clear. They got it from Bubby, Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni lived from 973 to 1048 AD. He developed a new method using trigonometric calculations to what? Compute Earth's radius and circumference based on the angle between the horizontal line and the true horizon, which is imaginary, from a mountaintop with known height. He calculated the height of the mountain by going to 2 points at sea level with a known distance apart, and then measuring the angle between the plane and the top of the mountain for both points. Biruni's estimate of 6,339.9 kilometers for Earth radius had an error of 0.0026 and was 16.8 kilometers less than the current value of 6,356.7 kilometers. The idea came to him when he was on top of a tall mountain near Nandana in India. He measured the dip angle using an astrolabe, and he applied to the law of sines formula. He also made use of algebra in his equation, or in his calculation. I'm sorry. Now let's take a look at this. We have A, the highest point of the mountain. Got that? B, the lowest point of the mountain. B. H, the height of the mountain. This is where it gets really tricky. C, the lowest point of the true horizon visible from point A. This true horizon is actually imaginary, so I don't know what the heck they're talking about here. We don't need that though. So, my point is, what we have been told for the past 3 or so months, that the horizon is refracted. Does everyone understand that? We are looking at a refracted horizon. I have a question. How can he compute a geometric physical radius from a refracted value? Por favor. This game is over. Over. Oscar, Victor, Echo, Romeo. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Questions, comments?
Leave the Biruni image on. So that's why I say it's non sequitur. Because if you're going to be applying geometry, you're going to need that line. I know which line you're going to hopefully draw your mouse over now. The tangent point that meets at C is the tangent point. And that's what you're deriving from this measurement using trig. You're deriving geometry. In other words, you need a straight line to that point at C, the tangent point, because you're going to be deriving Earth's sphericity from it with a radius value. So if you haven't got a straight line, i.e. it's refracted, you're never going to be able to derive anything geometric from that. So it is game over at this point, because if we don't see a geometric horizon, we don't see a geometric horizon. End of geometry.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Is that it?
That's it for the globe. Yeah, it's game over. No turning back. Black swans.
Righteous, sir.
Yeah.
You have the con.
Down the list.
Yes, sir.
All right. We can start with Brian's logic. Sometimes Brian needs more time, so let's go to Buster 2. Oh, there's Brian. Brian, are you talking? Because we can't hear you.
Very screwy Discord this evening. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. We've had horrendous trouble behind the scenes with Discord today, just so you all know.
Well, okay, he's back. All right, you're off me, Brian. And I guess that's it. We'll try Buster, and if Brian can talk, you can just talk whenever.
Yeah,
Buster,
I'm
you
here.
there? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes. So will I talk? Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have that to add to it. There's not really I could say that's going to make make any difference. So very good presentation. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, Buster 2. Crit.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, the globalists will tell you to show them the edge. And I'm like, well, show me the curve.
All right, God Rockin'? Or Chocolate, you wanted to say something?
Nah, I like what Chris said. Show me the curve. Like, yeah. Really simple. There is none. Sorry, go ahead.
Curve, being formerly known as curve, Earth curve, is actually the geometric horizon. When we say Earth curve and they say Earth curve, boats go over the Earth curve. They mean the geometric horizon, which is debunked by the Black Swan, hence the end of their assertion we have globe geometry. So where Crit said, show me the Earth curve, it's show me the geometric horizon. What's that? We don't have one? Game over, globe. Welcome to Flat Earth.
It just sounds really bad saying we don't ever see the curve, being that we live on a ball. So they have to say geometric horizon because that just slides in better, but no, it's the curve. And you're saying that you don't see it. So yeah, welcome to Flat Earth.
Betty, did you want to say something?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just had to have some admin, but it comes later. Good. Sorry.
All right. God Rockin', you there? Azir 1985? Or Mazar?
Yeah, no questions there.
Neil Constantino.
Of course I'm here. Apparently they're not keeping up with current events, but the ballers are getting their asses kicked.
Shout out to New York, man.
Huey, you're doing a great job. Nathan, all you guys, amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I don't think Runs with Scissors ever got his mic back, so we're moving on to Babs. But if Run with Scissors has something to say or has got his mic working, he can always say something later. Babs, are you there? And we're moving on to Gatekeeper.
Hello?
Hello?
What were you doing? I'm sorry.
I was just asking questions from the audience.
Oh, okay. What was that? I heard my name and then I jumped in.
You can chat about what was being presented.
I was kind of half listening, to be honest. I know you were talking about basically the same thing, the horizon stuff, all that type of stuff. I wasn't paying super close attention because I had it on quiet. I'm sorry.
It's all right. And I guess that's it. Zanuck is not around at the moment anymore.
Can I just chat with Chocolate for a second, Kiwi? Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chocolate.
Hello.
You say the most profound things, and you just summed it up in the most concise way. So I'm going to parrot what you've said, but give you full credit for saying it. So to summarise what Chocolate just said, right? He's explaining that we were told at the beginning of this argument, flat Earth versus globe Earth, if you like, that boats go over the curve of the Earth. That's what we were told. Now, the curve of the Earth is the geometric horizon. And we're now told you don't see the geometric horizon. Ergo, you don't see Earth curve is their current rebuttal. Pound Chocolate, just your ace.
I mean, yeah, it's that's what I hear when I hear that rebuttal. Is you don't see it. It's not there. It's not a physical. It's not a physical place that boats used to go over. You know, because I distinctly remember that they used to tell us that boats go over this thing, right? This curve, this horizon that used to be geometrical. They used to say that very vividly. Now all of a sudden they don't say that anymore. Like when you hear them argue, they don't argue for the curve of the Earth anymore. You know, they've kind of retired that. So now they call it the geometric horizon, but they're clear with saying we don't see that anymore, or we've never seen it. You don't expect to see it.
Exactly. That was the bit I was going to tally off from you. Exactly. So they say we never see it. So just to round that point out, we used to be told boats go over Earth curve being geometric horizon. Now we're told we never see Earth curve by our opponents. Not only do we never see Earth curve, we can't ever see Earth curve. We can't ever see the geometric horizon unless the sky vacuum took effect and took away all the air we're breathing. That relies on a sky vacuum sucking out all the air to ever see Earth curve. Amazing. Black Swan's the best argument since I've got here. Flat Earth, that is fantastic argument. Just I can't praise it enough. It's glorious.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
It's a quick kill. It's just a quick kill. Any direction that they try to step away from it, to go down an avenue to try and rebut it, there's a flamethrower there. They can't do it. It's impossible. You know why? Because it's the truth. You can't fight against the truth, people. Thanks. Chocolate?
It's not even a flamethrower. It's even quicker than that. It's like 2 shots to the back of the head. just that. Quick. Like, your horizon is further than 10 times where it's supposed to be? Nah, that just can't happen on the ball. And then we got guys say, oh, maybe it's a different radius. No, that's a concession right there. That's because that's the whole argument, is your radius. The argument begins with the radius. We're giving you that because usually we ask you guys, is there any sign for R? Where did you measure that? Where did you get that in the first place? Now we're giving it to you. Your own math is destroying you here, and you guys can't take it. Now you deny your geometric horizon. What you used to say the curve was, right? And then you say, oh, you don't like this argument. Well, before this argument, did you ever argue that there was an apparent horizon? Did you ever say did we ever speak about 5 horizons before? You guys never had that before. Or if you did, you never brought it up. Why was that?
Exactly. I tried to contain myself from talking over. I'm really sorry, Chocolate.
I'm done.
Quiet and assumed the R value. So the R value was intrinsically assumed and just hand wave for why they will automatically assume Earth is a sphere with all of their arguments. In other words, they would rest on their laurels in regards to their blatant assumptions. It's like, well, it's perfectly justified. We know it's a sphere. So therefore, when we start our argument with an assumption of R, we can hang our hat on that R. We know R's certain. Right? Well, now they don't have the R value. That's been debunked because the R value gave you Earth curve, physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as the geometric horizon, defined as the point that you can see in the distance, where apparently that's the edge of the curved Earth curve that the boats are going over. Well, now it's refracted. It's not geometric. We don't have an R value. They can't hang their hat on R. So R isn't something they can trust in anymore as a justification. So it's not, as you say, it could just be a different R value. No, you don't understand. 4 years of people just ham-handedly just saying, yeah, I can assume R. That's perfectly acceptable. You know, back in the day, you can trim out bits of GeoStreber saying, yeah, I'm going to assume this R. Of course it's fine. Because they could. Because they had a justifiable reason. They've got their calculations, they've got their correlations, they keep correlating it over and over again until part of the geometric presupposition and axiom that the actual maths is utilizing to give them the physicality of their claim that Earth is a sphere. Once that's relinquished, the end of the road. No more assertions to prove the sphericity. All of the sky vacuum ones were debunked on this show. Can't have any pictures from space in case anybody didn't pick up on that. If the sky's not a vacuum, you're not going to have pictures coming from there. So that debunks any notion that you can happily assume R, because you can't. And the ground measurements don't back it. Apparently, we never see a geometric horizon. So it is literally the end of the road. The globe has nowhere to go. It's an untenable argument at this stage. Completely untenable.
Arwen, did you have something that you wanted to add? We're going to round out.
Well, I'm just listening mostly in the background. I have been listening, and I'm trying to find a Legolas moment, but I just can't get a pin in between this.
Yes, subscribe to Early Bird on Arwin channel, 2 p.m. Amsterdam. Be here, be sphere. Arwin, ARWIJN. It's a really good show, daily.
That's what I wanted you to do, Arwen, was to plug your show, man. This is, we're going to round up, so go ahead and plug it.
All right. Well, like Nathan said, with his weird Arwinian voice, I guess. The Flat Earth Early Bird Show, 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day on Arwin channel, ARWIJN. Be there or be sphere or whatever you want to be. Just stick around.
Thanks, Arwen. Chocolate, any final thoughts, sir?
Well, sure. Great presentation. Glad to be here. And rest in peace to the magical spinning water ball in a vacuum.
Thanks, Chocolate. We got Paul H in here, but he's on server mute and deafen. Let me give him 1 second. Yeah, he's on server mute. Benny, any admin final thoughts?
Yeah, got some admin. We go to it. We got a super chat from Fuxani Roshi, and he says, "Great show! Shout out to Enigma and from Discord for bringing me here." We got a new someone on the chat. And another super chat from Rakia Live. He says, 4 more hours. Be safe. Question everything. Fast, to which is true.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate that. And shout out to Enigma, sir. Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Nathan, sir.
It's the end of the globe as we know it. Black Swan's never going to die. You just didn't notice them.
Take us home. Plug that show of yours.
Yeah, 2 p.m. daily, back on the main channel, Nathan Oakley 1980, live, Monday to Friday. That's 2 p.m. UK time, Flat Earth Debate, Be Here or Be Sphere, and 8 p.m. UK time on my second channel, which is Nathan Oakley, for Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. So that's 8 p.m. on Nathan Oakley channel. So Be Here or Be Sphere, daily, Monday to Friday, for Flat Earth Debate.
Now listen to that. That's how you plug a show. All right, guys. Thanks to all the Ballbusters and all the participants, that is guests. And 2 weeks from now, I'm going to bust out the Trinity. That's a small t. The Trinity that takes the entire heliocentric spinning ball space monkey religion and pummels it into the incoherent oblivion. You have a couple of them in today's show. Take this #1 ball killer and give it to everyone you know. The ball stops here. And P.S., we're not going to just let you walk out of here.